What is up, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of Ancient Echoes Live. So good to see everyone here today. Austin, my friend, how are you doing today?
I'm doing great. Welcome to the show, everybody. It's good to be back here live with you. We try to do this every Sunday at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Let's go ahead and let everybody get in here tonight. How you been doing, Bronson?
I'm doing well, man. Been super busy sitting around the house, man, gardening and whatnot, you know. We might just maybe be getting ready to do another little kind of kickboxing thing here in the future. We'll see about that.
Oh yeah.
So I've been kind of doing some training and getting back on the grind and everything, bro. But more importantly, the things that have been happening around us seem to be going all over the place now, dude. We've had crazy storms in Texas. We've had power outages all over the East Coast. You know, hey, Austin, did you know Jeffrey Epstein didn't exist, right? He was just a figment of our imagination. Did you know that?
Yeah. Not happy. Not happy with it. Honestly, we were talking about doing it for a show tonight, talking a lot about the Epstein stuff, but everybody and their mom is talking about it.
Right.
And we didn't want to overkill you guys. But there is something else going on, and there's a lot of flooding going on in Texas, wacky weather patterns. I know a lot of people had questions about the flooding in Asheville not too long ago that put a pause on our documentary we were working on up there. A lot of different things going on with weather and geoengineering, chemtrails, the whole nine, and we, go ahead and score another one for the conspiracy theorists, quote unquote.
That's right.
Go ahead and score another one for us there, guys.
That's
so
right.
Get everybody, I want to go ahead and pause right now. I don't know how many people are here yet, but for all you conspiracy theorists out there in the chat, let's go ahead and just clap it up. Clap it up for our brother. Let's clap it up for them.
That's right.
Yep. There's another one. There's another one. So we're going to be going into it again tonight. I don't think that maybe 20% of the population maybe thinks there's not geoengineering.
Right.
Maybe now, which is crazy to think of where we're coming from 15 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, we're gonna get into that a little bit, Bronson. I'm gonna go ahead and send some of these images over. Forgive me, guys. It's been a crazy week. I'm gonna send a couple little funny images over and images talking about kind of what we're saying tonight. Send it to the email now. Just a couple images there just to break the ice while everybody comes on in. Let us know what you guys have been up to in the chat. Have you guys been just on the Epstein stuff? You've been looking at weather engineering? You just blocking it all out and taking the only white pill there is, and that's Jesus, and just reading your Bible and enjoying your families and ignoring all the puppet show.
Right.
So
sometimes you have to.
Let us know what you've been focusing on. I try to just do the latter myself, just focus on Jesus, the Bible, family, and all that. But majorly disappointed, and a lot of this stuff going on. I'm also going to tell you, when it first happened, I had high hopes for justice. I really did. I thought that we were going to get some justice. I thought, maybe with Trump being through all this judicial persecution and the getting shot in the ear and all that type of stuff, maybe he would not be co-opted by, what can we call it? I don't even like calling it the globalists. Let's just call it the dark side. Let's just be honest.
Right, that's what it is.
And I'm not saying that Republicans are the light side or Democrats are the light side. There, as far as I'm concerned, they're all garbage. So don't take it that way. We've moved way past the left-right dichotomy here.
That's right.
But I was hoping with that dude being through all that stuff that maybe we would get some justice for some stuff. Maybe, possibly, we would get some justice for the USS Liberty guys.
Right.
I talked to them on X quite a bit in comments and stuff like that, and those guys are basically spit on, and they did nothing but go over there and try and protect our greatest allies, and they got napalm for it. Right. But that's neither here nor there. We're not going to go too far into it, but there's a lot of disappointment on the political spectrum for me. What about you, Bronson?
I had one hope, the two things I wanted from this administration more than anything else. The two things I wanted clean food and clean water. You know what I mean? From the Maha movement. That sounded really good to me. And then I wanted the Epstein
did you hear
files.
that they just approved mRNA vaccines for kids?
Yeah, man. Yeah.
Wow.
Major letdown, bro. Major. Because to me, we're not going to spend too long on this because we got 1,000 things to do tonight. But to me, if we really want to destabilize this whole elitist, whatever you want to call it, their foundation that they have set up so strongly across oceans and lands, to me, what you have to do is you have to have a free thinking society, people that can be healthy and use their brain and their body. And so that, as we're talking about food, we're talking about breathing actual oxygen and nothing else in the air. And then on top of that, if you want us to win, we have to be strong. So that's Maha. And if you want us to win, we have to identify the enemy. And in my personal playbook, being, the Christian conspiracy people that we are, the enemy is, like you said, the dark side, the people that would be aligned with Epstein, that would be aligned with those people that torment children like that. You know what I'm saying? So you make us strong, you expose the enemy. To me, that's like the perfect starting spot. And both of those within the same week, shambles, Diddy and all, everything shambles. You know what I mean? It's just, it all fell apart.
Well,
bro.
I'm going to be honest with you. I was in the minority on the Diddy thing. I thought a lot of the stories were gross and somewhat hilarious.
Right.
There's something about a guy getting charged with all that stuff, and his catchphrase is "take that, take that." It's too ironic.
The jokes write themselves.
I'm sorry, but yeah. So I never thought that there was a whole lot of crimes there with Diddy. I thought it was a lot of people participating in a lot of debauchery.
Right.
But there was a lot of adults doing what adults do. Especially sick ones with a whole lot of money and power and can do whatever their desires are. You know what I mean? There was some stuff that was crimes for sure, by the COVID. I mean, the actual people thinking he was going down for life or something, like that was always ridiculous. It was more or less just like a gossip machine. And it was good for a lot of channels to generate clicks with, more or less.
Right. It generated a ton of online revenue, that's for sure.
Yeah. I mean, they just completely disappeared. Matter of fact, I sent you those images. Let's get into that. But since we did talk about Epstein, I'd like to. I'm going to send you a song for us to play too. And if he wants to copyright us on it, he can. But I'm going to send you a song after we do these images.
All right. So here comes our first picture here, guys. If you're unfamiliar with the show and how these things work, a lot of times we will do some icebreakers in the beginning. We'll have some jokes. We'll just have some stuff to get me and Austin in the zone. You know what I'm saying? It's kind of weird just going from your daily life and then hopping on a camera. So let's see. This says the atmosphere heater installations are located around the world, the ionosphere. So you've got Harp in Alaska, Harp in Long Island, Area 51, Big Shock, Puerto Rico, Peru, Brazil. Wow, geez Louise. Russia, Norway, China, Japan, India, Australia. Yeah, it's so funny. You were talking about the conspiracy theorists winning. It just blows my mind how there was a time when people believed that this wasn't a thing, and now here we are.
It's wild, man. It just keep on scoring for the conspiracy theorists. But if you look back at that picture real quick before we move on to some of the funnier stuff.
Yeah. It
looks like it's all centered in the UK.
It does, doesn't it? The lines just lean into that.
Yeah.
I wonder why that is.
Funny how that works, man.
Yeah, that's very interesting. This is so perfect, dude. The entire human race is being held up by some old lady praying at night, bro. I gotta tell you, man, when my grandmother passed away, I know I lost one on my side, bro. I lost one on my side, man. I know she prayed hard for us all the time. So it's so funny. I heard somebody talking about, like Proverbs 31, talking about the elders sitting at the gates and stuff. I heard somebody say one day, said, you know who the modern elders sitting at the gates are? It's that old man sitting at Hardee's in the morning. There's 2 or 3 old men, 7 a.m. at Hardee's. Those are the old men at the gates now, man. And they're right, dude. They really are holding up the society with 2 hands. So good on them, man. That's some good souls there. Let me pull this up a little bit. This comes from Daniel versus Babylon. It says ram horns versus the real harp. Exactly right. That is dude, I'm so glad you sent an image like this, because this is the one story we have in regards to frequencies being able to perform certain things that you just don't see anywhere else in the Bible, that I know of at least. I mean, we know God spoke things into existence. We know that
Yeah.
Jericho with the horn and everything knocks things down. And of course, Jesus speaks, he says, be healed or your sins are forgiven, etc., etc.
But your tongue are sharper than any double-edged sword. Yeah.
Exactly right. Exactly. And the life and death are the power that's within the tongue. So it's very interesting, man. It's hard to find a place, especially on the internet, where you can find a proper division between what goes towards like new agey, almost witchcraft manifestation, and then proper biblical doctrine. You know what I mean? It's ooh man, it's tricky to find. And
well, I mean, gotta be honest with you, man. I find it quite a bit.
Yeah.
It's just,
you do? Good.
Everything that's on the occultic side or on the pagan side or mythology or all that, it is just this, to me at least, it's just the other side of the coin. It's just looking at the same thing from a different perspective, the wrong perspective, in my opinion. But I find a lot of that stuff from how they do their curses and what the Bible actually says about cosmology when they talk about, I bind the spirit at the four winds and all this type of stuff. That's talking about the same stuff that's mentioned in the Bible, the angels at the four corners holding back the winds and stuff like that. So there's more than that there than you would think, man, because it's based on the same reality. When you get into the actual, like, what the occult is talking about is based on the same reality that Christians look at. They're just on what we call the dark side.
Right.
So I find it pretty often. Did I send another image or no? I think I only sent a couple of them over.
Yeah, I had these three here. Well, just these three.
Since we talked about Epstein, I did see a song online that described it pretty well. So I sent it to the email. If you could check. Yeah.
Sure. Oh gosh. Okay. Here we go. Here, let me mute our music real quick. That is so funny, bro. Let's see what this is.
Well, you got your bucket list, your grocery list, your list of things to do. You got a list of all your wishes. That's a wish list, dude. You got your Amazon.
Oh, what's happening?
I don't know. I can hear it, but it's not moving. Here, let me refresh real quick. Here.
Well, you got
there we go.
Your grocery list, your list of things to do. You got a list of all your wishes. That's a wish. Well, you got your bucket list, your grocery list, your list of things to do. You got a list of all your wishes. That's a wish list, dude. You got your Amazon and Santa Claus and Tooth Fairy too. But I know a list that don't exist, and buddy, so do you. It's the Epstein list. It's a mystery list with a twist. It's a myth of a list that we all just miss. Be an optimist, not a pessimist. If you wish to persist, you probably ought to forget that list. What were we talking about?
What were we talking about?
But I can sleep a lot better at night. Yeah, life can just go along, knowing there's 10,000 hours of sunshine and flowers and nobody doing a damn thing wrong. Here no see no damn Bongino Cash Patel. Well, I wouldn't wanna be a sweating man with bulging eyes. Now tell me them fellas ain't compromised.
That's hilarious.
Any implicated dude will tell you. Anybody on the big list knows just how far the folks in charge will go to keep the status quo.
Facts.
So when the war bell rings, the song that they'll sing is a song that we well know. Ow, ow. So it's off to war I go. Well, they said they're gonna fix it, but now they're all complicit. They owe, they owe, they owe, they owe, they owe. So it's off to war we go. Send the poor off the war. What else are we for? They owe, they owe, they owe.
No, he is killing this, bro. What the heck? What the heck? Great. Nah, man, he killed that, bro. That's like 1960s Hollies type of revolutionary wake up.
Yeah,
brother.
He's like Bob Dylan that can actually sing. Yeah.
No, that was clean, bro. I was expecting it just to be a parody. No, he killed that, bro. That's good. Man, wow. That was.
I'll send you a couple of his songs later. He's got one that's called "Sometimes You Bomb Iran."
That's hilarious, bro.
If you want to pull us up on the screen real quick, let's go ahead and lead into what we're talking about tonight.
Yeah, for sure. So tonight, man, our show is entitled "Weather Weapons and Geoengineering." This is something that has become quite the topic here lately. Between cloud seeding, and everybody's pretty familiar with chemtrails and contrails and all that. But in the midst of odd weather events, a couple, 1 year ago, I think, here in North Carolina, where Austin and I live, There was a crazy storm that came through Asheville, North Carolina, just devastated the area. Mountains, you know what I mean? Flooding in the mountains was just unheard of in that area. And I mean, it's still not right. Even in that area now, we still haven't got all the rebuilding and construction taken care of. It's just tragic, man. But what we saw in Texas the other day was just insane, dude. The rate in which that water rose was, when I saw it the first time, I said, dude, can you imagine what Noah's flood must have been like? Because that water rose up so fast, man. It was scary.
Yeah, and it changed from supposed to being like a half inch to an inch of rain to 10 inches in just a couple of minutes. And we're going to get into a graph that shows that in a minute.
Let's do it.
But a lot of people think that it's just cloud seeding and all this stuff. No. This goes much deeper. There is, this goes into frequencies, directed energy weapons. I mean, it's the whole shebang. If you watched our cosmology video, then you saw some about Operation Fishbowl. That's a part of this too. It's all one big scientific cabal that's moving to us towards, what, in my opinion, destruction and poisoning of the earth. I mean, it's just ultimate setup for tribulation type stuff going on everywhere. You have the red heifers practice ceremony going on in Israel. You have, wars and rumors of wars and earthquakes and weird stuff in the weather and just all kinds of stuff. Poison in the food, poison in the air, poison in the water. I mean, and it's all self-inflicted. It all didn't have to be this way. It just seems like it's all pointing towards tribulation type stuff. And this is one part of it. This weather manipulation, geoengineering, cloud seeding, and directed energy weapons, and using frequencies as weapons.
Right.
And I know it sounds a little crazy, but this is all proven now. This is all documented now. I don't think there's any way you can really deny it. When you look at everything going on, you could be an ultimate skeptic and just be like, no, just what I see in front of me is what happens. Sometimes it just rains and floods out, in a mountain. Sometimes, stuff just, the radar changes from an inch to a half inch, from an inch to a half inch of rain to 10 inches instantly. This stuff just happens. It's just like, how it just happens that Epstein list just disappears. Things like that just happen.
Yeah. No,
he trafficked all these kids, and Ghislaine Maxwell's away for 20 years, but they just trafficked with nobody. They trafficked it to Casper the Friendly Ghost, I guess, because there's just no list. There's no anybody. Clients. I mean, no, they were trafficking children back and forth to themselves. Like,
right.
It's the same type of thing. So if you want to deny the Epstein stuff and you want to deny the clear geoengineering in your face, you go ahead. But we're going to get into it tonight. Let's get it.
Let's do it, bro. All right. This comes in from MJ. It says, Eric Hecker, former Raytheon employee, testified to Congress how a direct energy weapon caused the Christchurch earthquake in 2011. Confirmed to me by Jesus. We have the documented proof. All right, here we go. You ready?
Directed energy weapon systems is something that people need to get in their vocabulary fast. The ice cube neutrino detector is not simply a passive listening device as presented for the science that they're claiming it to do. It also has the capacity to transmit. There are embedded in the ice what are called digital optical modules, DOMs. They're about the size of a basketball. The array embedded in the ice is 1 kilometer by 1 kilometer by 1 kilometer. It is the world's largest telescope.
It's massive.
And now, because we have proven that it can transmit, it's the world's largest directed energy weapons system. It is responsible for the earthquakes in Christchurch, New Zealand in 2011 on the front end of the year.
Oh, dude, I'm so glad it was New Zealand. When I saw NZ, I was like, bro, I've got no idea what state that is. I saw NZ, I skipped right over that. I said, bro, I don't know what state that is. Okay, it's New Zealand. Thank God. I was like, bro, I've been failed by the education system. No, that's crazy, man. So just so we understand correctly, a direct energy weapon system is something that is a highly concentrated beam, if you will, of, I don't know, electrons, ions, whatever, correct? And that's what a lot of people think those crazy California fires was caused by. Is that sort of right?
Yes, and we have a CBS News clip explaining it more in depth as we go along. So just hang in there for a minute, guys. We'll have a verified scientists explain it for a little while. And see, that's what got me, is that we had all these scientists and universities and talking about sun shield and all, and blocking out the sun to prevent global warming and all this type of stuff, and admitting to shooting all these particle beams into the ionosphere.
Right.
You know what I mean? So you had all these people saying these things, but when you would say, hey, no, they're geoengineering, you would be labeled some kind of crazy conspiracy theorist. And it's like, no, it's right here. It's on CBS News. It's New York Times front page. It's in the white papers out of Harvard and Yale. It's like, it's right there in front of you, man. What do you mean? Look up in the sky. You're not going to tell me that's condensation. I'm sorry. Condensation is not... It does not sit there and then fester and then spread out and then your whole sky's gray on what was a sunny day with no precipitation. It's just a big muddled, jumbled mess up there.
What's wild to
me
is
looking up at the skies, guys. I mean, when you're driving to work or when you're walking outside, take a peek up. Let's see what's going on up there. I know when I'm driving, I'll see it. I'll see just big long streaks, then all of a sudden the whole sky is just gray and nasty, and it's just not real clouds. You can tell it's artificial garbage. Right.
See, when I was in high school, and anyone who's older than me probably got taught this too, because the education system just got worse over time. But when I was in school, they taught us that static electricity happened when negative and positive met, right? You had your negatively charged electrons, positively charged electrons, they meet, zap, zap. And then you take that to a further level. This is where lightning comes from. You know what I mean? I can't remember which one weighs less. I think it's the negatively charged one weighs less. So as the wind blows and things happen, they fall off of branches and trees that go up in the sky, whatever. But we learned basically in high school through that knowledge of just negatively charged electrons and positives, that if you were to take a little gun, like a little pew-pew, and just start firing electrons off into the air, which we've been able to do for like 100 years, you would be able to start manifesting different not weapons, but weather situations. I don't know the length of control into that, but we've known, at least since I was in high school, bare minimum, that this was a possibility. So this isn't a conspiracy, man. This is something that it just makes sense. It's just electrons. It just makes total sense. So this comes in from Representative Marjorie Taylor Greene, and she says, thank you, yeah, that's pretty cool, actually. I've seen a couple posts from her over the past couple of days that I kind of like to see. Yeah, you can see over here is just Christian mother, American business owner. It's pretty cool. But anyway,
everybody was clowning her, talking about, she's talking about Jewish space lasers, and everything she said. I'll be honest with you, she's been 100% on.
That's nice.
Another one for the conspiracy theorists. But it's nice to have some people in the house and that are at least tackling this, because it's so obvious and in your face.
Right. Well, she's pushing a bill right now, right? It says, my bill prohibits the injection, release, or dispersion of chemicals or substances into the atmosphere for the express purpose of altering weather, temperature, climate, or sunlight intensity. It would be a felony offense. I mean, what are we talking about? This should be a law. You know what I'm saying? Why do we even have to make this a law? This is like Phineas and Ferb, Dr. Doofenshmirtz type of, this is crazy. All right, here's the video.
Let's pull up the Lee Zeldin,
Yeah.
Concerned Americans have urgent and important questions about geoengineering and contrails. The American public deserves and expects honesty and transparency from their government when seeking answers. But for years, people who asked questions in good faith were dismissed, even vilified by the media and their own government. That era is over. The Trump EPA is committed to total transparency. As a result, I tasked my team at EPA to compile a list of everything we know about contrails and geoengineering for the purpose of releasing it to you now publicly. In other words, I want you to know everything I know about these topics, and without any exception. Instead of simply dismissing these questions and concerns as baseless conspiracies, we're meeting them head on. We did the legwork, looked at the science, consulted agency experts, and pulled in relevant outside information to put these online resources together. Everything we know about contrails to solar geoengineering will be in there. That means anyone who reads through this information will know as much about these topics as I do as EPA administrator. To anyone who's ever looked up to the streaks in the sky and asked, what the heck is going on? Or seen headlines about private actors and even governments looking to blot out the sun.
So was this guy appointed by Trump, or is it?
Yeah, he's the head of the EPA.
Okay, yeah, he seems rather based for EPA.
In the name of stopping global warming? We've endeavored to answer all of your questions at the links on your screen. In fact, EPA shares many of the same concerns when it comes to potential threats to human health and the environment, especially from solar geoengineering activities. The enthusiasm for experiments that would pump pollutants into the high atmosphere has set off alarm bells here at the Trump EPA. Prior to now, EPA has never been this proactive to raise awareness about concerns with geoengineering and to stop this activity from being scaled up. This is what it looks like when government actually listens to the will of the people and doesn't try to squash it. You can always trust this administration and this EPA to take your concerns seriously.
Release the list.
Honestly,
right, exactly. Release the list. What are we talking about?
Voters with integrity.
Goodness.
I mean, that's awesome, and I hate to if we go full screen real quick, man.
Sure.
I hate to always be a downer. It feels like the past couple months I've been a downer about the Trump administration. There's a lot of good things going on. Don't get me wrong, but
right,
covered up for a ring, a Mossad CIA operation, a ring of pedophiles and raping little girls to entrap politicians and business leaders and royals and financiers and all that type of stuff, man. That kind of overweighs everything to me, man. Like, I have a couple priorities that that I think are important before we tackle anything else. Right. Now, the EPA stuff is cool, so I don't want to always be a downer on that. Yeah. But you know what I mean. So there is cool things going on and good things going on. The Red 40 thing with being banned is awesome. That should have been done forever ago,
100 years ago.
There is no reason that we don't have the same food standards as Europe does, at least.
Of course.
If not them, then we should definitely have the same as Russia. They don't allow any GMO.
Right. Right. Yeah, it seems like a real basic thing to ask for. Give us real food. Don't poison the weather.
Yeah.
I feel like I'm not asking for much here, man.
Yeah, we're not asking for a whole lot, man.
Right.
It's just, but it is really cool to see it finally in the mainstream with people that can actually say they want to do something about it. Now,
right.
Who is really behind spraying all this stuff in the sky? I know there is some private entities and like universities, and I believe, of course, Bill Gates is in on it. Anything that's destructive and terrible, his little fruity self is in on it.
His grimy hands.
And everything, man. You know what I mean? Just a filthy little monster. But it is cool to see Lee Zeldin doing it. But in my back of my mind, my skeptic in me is going, "Oh, you're gonna stop it? Who's the one doing it?" You know what I mean? The administration, the government's gonna stop the government from spraying this stuff in the sky, guys.
Exactly. It sounds really good when he says it. Yeah. What's crazy is like they've learned to talk. That's what's wild is they've learned the way that we, like, especially if you're like on Rumble, right? You probably knew some secret code way back in like 2015 to where you were like, all right, me and this guy, we're conspiracy theorists together. He knows certain things that I know, and we can kind of gel on that, But it's like they've learned to speak our language. They're starting to say things that only was said behind closed doors 10 years ago. And so it all sounds really good.
Us little bones and stuff, man. But I mean, there's no reason this isn't completely shut down. There's no reason there isn't an arrest made for this. If I put arsenic in the water supply, people start dying and people getting sick, I would be arrested.
Oh, quickly.
If companies are putting poison in the air, if government agencies are doing that, there need to be arrests.
Absolutely.
You're poisoning the populace. Not only that, you're not only just inhaling it. Think about the water table and the soil that our food is grown in. It affects everything.
Everything.
It affects everything. So it's good talk by Lee Zeldin. And it's a lot of good talk out of the DOJ and a lot of good talk about everything else. I haven't seen one arrest for Russiagate. I haven't seen one arrest for the poisoning of the air and the water. I haven't seen one arrest for Epstein. All I've seen is they killed Peanut the squirrel. Granted, that was the last administration, so they took Peanut out. Thank God they were proactive about that.
Right.
You know what I mean? They sued a coffee shop because they supported Palestine, and to force them to not do that and to take down whatever sign they had and everything else. Sounds a lot like, oh yeah, Christian Baker, you better bake that cake. You guys remember that? Just a different side of the coin.
Right.
So there's it's a lot of good talk. It's a lot of good talk.
Yeah. Hopefully.
Has anybody been arrested for Burisma yet? Have any of the oligarchs that stole all that money from Ukraine been arrested yet?
Of course not.
I'm just going down the line, man. There's a lot of good talk, but it seems like only the common man goes to jail.
Yeah.
It doesn't seem like any of these big time entities, nothing ever happens. Just, oh, we'll talk about this over here. Oh, we'll talk about firing Pam Bondi. Oh no, Dan Bongino might leave. It's just all just to obfuscate the real thing that you're not getting the list. No arrests are happening. Nobody's being held accountable. Nobody that was on the J6 committee that locked up Americans without due process has been arrested.
Right.
So, I mean, it sounds good what Lee Zeldin says, but get back to me when you guys actually want to have some action. When you guys actually want to lock some people up. When they're talking about, oh, we need a committee for the Epstein list. Didn't we already have the committee with Anna Paulina Luna? We have the internet, dude. We don't need a committee. Release it. Release it.
Exactly.
Release all of the files on 9/11. Release all of them. Like, I don't want to hear about national security. If our security, lies in protecting a ring of pedophile elites, then that's not the security I want. I don't feel very secure.
Exactly.
So I don't care about national security, and none of the people do.
No,
and it's
no
going
one
to get
does.
to a point, man. If they don't start taking it seriously, it's going to start where revolution is going to be really started to talk about, because I'm telling you, people are not playing around with this stuff.
No,
we were promised stuff, and we're sick of it. We're sick of being lied to, and we're sick of paying taxes to a bunch of pedophiles and murderers.
That's right.
Sick of it. Sick of it. So hopefully Lee Zeldin does do something, but I wouldn't hold my breath.
I wouldn't either, man. But it's, out of all the nonsense that's been going on, I think the one really good thing that's come from this, the one good sign that we see, is just how many people out there have come out and just they're sick of it, man. I'm not gonna say the American people, but I'm gonna say millions. Just in my time scrolling through on X and looking at the impressions, the comments, the likes, everything, we're talking millions and millions of Americans who are just fed up with this nonsense, dude. The Epstein thing was we're drawing the line in the sand with that one, man. You can't tell us that nothing happened with that. And then the same thing with this here. When you guys release these files with the EPA, there better be something in there worth looking at. As if not, I mean, even hearing the guy say
the thing is it wasn't hidden. It's just everybody that cared was just shouted down. There's white papers everywhere showing this. We don't even need Lee Zeldin to do that.
Right.
You can find it everywhere. We have a bunch of it tonight. We have stuff from back in 2024, stuff all older than that. And I'll direct you, since he's back on YouTube, Richie from Boston. Richie from Boston too.
He's been on it for a long time.
Too. OG of the OGs, man.
Right.
Go check out Richie from Boston on this. I mean, even if you want to pause this and come back to us, that's fine. If you just really want to see some stuff from years ago, I don't know if he has the old stuff on there, but find it. Richie from Boston stuff on chemtrails and geoengineering and all that type of stuff.
Right.
I highly recommend going and looking at his page. No frills. He just tells you like it is.
Right.
You know what I mean? He's another Christian guy too. Believes in the armor of God, biblical cosmology, all that good stuff. Solid guy that we've watched for years. Glad he's back. I used to have to scramble and find him on Rumble. But if you guys want to see a lot of good stuff from an OG that has a lot of other things that we don't have, you can, Alex Jones obviously has been doing it forever. I mean, there's a lot of people out there that have covered this in depth, and you don't even need Lee Zeldin, really. It'd be nice to have something officially from the government, something with a GOV website. But to me, we already know this. When are they going to start arresting people that were behind this? When are they going to start taking these client scientists that took payouts to say all this garbage and to come up with these things to blot out the sun? Oh, we're going to blot out the sun?
Right.
Who thinks that's a good idea? Who thinks that?
We saw the first Matrix movie.
Man.
Not a good idea.
These scientists, man, they will just say anything for a payout.
It's crazy.
I don't trust anything that comes from these dudes. It's just
right.
Whose grant is this? Right. Satan? Hell's great.
Yeah, exactly. I mean? Like, right. Exactly.
So let's see. Let's go ahead and move on to the next thing, man.
Dude, that's so funny, bro. All right, this is her again from Majority Taylor Green. She says, "I'm accepting apologies now, and I'm introducing legislation to stop weather modification and geoengineering. People have had enough of chemicals manipulating our weather, and the governments and the industries that profit from controlling it." She's right. Is this a video here? Nah.
I think it's a video. I think it's a screenshot of a girl that's on Sean Ryan. But if you look down at the bottom, it's an old post that was community noted.
Yes, it says it's ridiculous for anyone to lie to say it can't be done. And then the community note says weather manipulation is possible at small scales, cloud seeding. However, weather patterns in general are naturally occurring, cannot be, quote, controlled. Hurricanes and other large storms cannot be created artificially or with modern technology. And yeah, man,
I beg to differ.
I do too.
I'm accepting apologies now. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm accepting apologies now. Yeah, you guys were wrong, man. I'm not a scientist. I'm not gonna sit here and claim to understand everything on how that it works, but we saw, I think it was like 2019, maybe 2020, where Dubai was creating artificial rain, you know, by controlling the weather.
Dude, the UAE flooded itself last year. We talked about it on the show.
Yeah. Oh, I forgot all about that. Yeah.
Yeah, that one too, man. They flooded out the UAE. Go look at it. They did it with cloud seeding, and now this guy that works for that company is saying, "Oh no, that couldn't have happened." That, well, dude, it just happened in the UAE.
Mm-hmm.
What do you mean you can't flood anything out with cloud seeding?
Right.
It just did it. It was worldwide news.
Right. I forgot all about that, dude. You're so right. All right, so this comes in from. You're fine.
All right, this is a Nicole Sheridan. I really like Nicole Sheridan. She was the vice presidential candidate with RFK. She has brought up some stuff about child trafficking and geoengineering. She is converted from Judaism to Christianity, I think. So let's clap it up for Nicole. Let's clap it up for her.
Yeah, dude, that's good news.
Yeah, very good news. Very good news. I think she sees what's up, man. You know, I think there's a lot of good Jewish people out there that are seeing what's going on, man, and recognizing that, hey, man, this religion is just basically to deny the deity of Christ, and the more it goes along, the more corrupt it gets because it doesn't have God in it anymore.
Right. Exactly.
I think Nicole's one of us, man. I could be wrong. I've been fooled before many times, but you know, from everything I see in Nicole, really a big fan of Nicole. So. Awesome. Glad to have her on the team now. Yeah.
Well, let's check out what she has to say about this. I'm interested. Let's see. We'll full screen her up.
Hey, everybody. So EPA Administrator Lee Zeldin announced today that his agency will finally release detailed information on geoengineering. If you followed me for a while, you know this is something I care deeply about. So this feels like the right moment to share. I have been speaking with a whistleblower over the past several weeks who has helped me really understand what's happening in our skies. They've given me information that could shed real light on these programs, who's behind them, where the funding's coming from, and what we can do to stop them. I'll be posting an article on my X feed later today, so please stay tuned.
Very cool. Very cool.
All right, so we have that article for you right. We have that article for you guys right here.
Sorry. I lost it. Here it is. It's my fault.
It is. So we got the article for you right here, and it's a long article, but let's read a little bit through it. And you know, Bronson, I'm going to ask you if you would please read it, because black background with the white letters makes everything look like a blob.
I totally understand. No worries at all. So this is the Dark Maha report on geoengineering. Who's behind it? And how we stop it. All right, here we go. Clear my voice a little bit. It's a lot of reading here. All right. It says, over the past month, I've been in contact with a government whistleblower, an individual who has held high-level security clearances and has spent over a decade consulting directly with major federal agencies. Their experience spans the Department of Defense, the Department of Energy, the NOAA, and the intelligence community. With their permission, I've agreed to share here on X the information they provided to me, as they, and I, believe it raises serious concerns. So this seems to have some high backing behind it. You've got a handful of whistleblower type of activity here from Department of Defense and Department of Energy. That adds credibility right off the bat. While the whistleblowers did not disclose any classified information, what they did provide was a roadmap to navigate the tangled mess that is our government's geoengineering programs. I imagine they have to do that. If you don't, if you give out too much information, you'll probably be at risk or liability. They told me that despite President Trump's 2020 directive to halt taxpayer-funded climate change initiatives, federal grants for solar radiation management, stratospheric aerosol injection, geez Louise, and other geoengineering technologies are still being issued. The programs haven't stopped. They've just been rebranded. That's their classic twist, man.
Let me say this too, man. That's that's a common thing.
It is.
Think about that. Oh, we stopped MK Ultra in the 80s, right?
Yeah, right. Exactly.
I'm sure you did.
Right.
I'm sure that name MK Ultra is 86 from anything to do with anything anymore because it got so blown up. So,
right.
Yeah, I'm sure they did. I'm sure they just rebranded it like they always do, man. That's a common thing.
That's what they do.
I wonder what Project Stargate's called now.
Who knows? Gate Star.
It's probably called like Project Save the Kitties and Doggies.
Exactly. Yeah, that's one thing that I learned, particularly during the USAID stuff, was how much they'll name it like you said, the project for puppies with cancer. And you're like, oh, okay, well, that's great. Yeah, let's save the puppies with cancer. So what do you guys do? And they're like, oh, yeah, no, we just inject aerosol into the atmosphere.
Brown people.
Yeah.
We put $500. We donated $500 to the animal shelter. We used the rest to bomb people in Zimbabwe.
Exactly right.
You know what I mean? It's always some low-life stuff like that. Or some kind of weird debaucherous sexual thing that they're trying to impose on a conservative culture. Like, they're in Iraq trying to do transgenders. It's like, dude, I don't think that you're just trying to get somebody thrown off a building, man. Like, what are we doing?
Right. Exactly right. It's so wild. So when she says this up here, I'm assuming she's the one that wrote this. She probably had somebody on her board, help her write it up, I guess. Which
I don't know, man. She's pretty straight up.
Yeah. Okay. Well, hey, I mean, there's no shame in having help. I'm sure she's super busy, so whatever. But what this says here is talking about federal grants for, here we go, solar radiation management, and here's the big one: stratospheric aerosol injection. That's crazy. But the programs haven't stopped.
For all of us that grew up in the 80s and 90s, do you guys remember the ozone layer and how aerosol was terrible?
Exactly.
You remember that Eminem song, I'll spray an aerosol can into the ozone layer? Who is running this?
Yes, I do remember that. Exactly right. It's so wild, man. The narrative just changes. I feel like they just assume we can't remember yesterday. Geoengineering is now commonly called climate intervention. That's crazy. Yeah, loss prevention.
Just like global warming is now climate change. It's
exactly.
Whenever the premise is proven false, there's always a name change to keep the program going.
Exactly. All right, so SRM is now referred to as solar radiation modification. So instead of management, it's now modification. The aerosol injection is now stratospheric aerosol intervention. These semantic shifts aren't scientific, they're strategic. They're designed to, here we go, obfuscate the truth and shield. Thank you. And shield these programs with Freedom of Information Act, media scrutiny, and public opposition. So here she says, the whistleblower provided me with federal grant data showing millions of tax dollars flowing to universities under these new labels. It's always the schools, man. It's always under some new study. Yeah. I feel like they're allowed to bend certain rules or have certain exceptions because it's for the sake of study, for the sake of education.
Dude, the whole education system is nothing but a weapon.
It is. You're exactly right. That's well said, actually. One organization stood out, the University Cooperation of Atmospheric Research, UCAR. This nonprofit consortium of 130 colleges and universities manages the National Center for Atmospheric Research on behalf of the National Science Foundation. Okay, 130 colleges. UCAR has received more than $230 million in direct federal awards, yet much of the documentation about their work is, as usual, inaccessible without an internal login. See, that's one thing I just don't like about this. Like,
how do they take our money, but we can't look and see what they're doing with it?
Exactly.
It's like the stuff that comes out of NASA. Like, we fund all this stuff. They get an insane amount of money every year, right? But everything that comes out of NASA, out of their R&D that goes to like the private sector to be sold, whether it's memory foam or anything else, like, why do we pay full price? We paid for the R&D. Charge the people in China and in the UK, charge them retail. We already paid for this.
Right.
How are you guys able to just privatize it and make more money off of it? We paid for the R&D. We should at least get half off. You know what I mean?
Yeah, give me something.
We're the ones funding all this type of stuff. You know what I mean?
Exactly right.
It's crazy. It's like it drives me nuts, man.
Me too.
Pay for it, but you're not allowed to see what you paid for. It's like
It's so wild, man. It's so backwards.
No.
Yeah, it's something dude, that's one of the greatest things about the internet ever is that, I barely passed high school, and here I am, with this type of information, understanding, and able to at least articulate this in a way where, 40, 50 years ago, nobody knew how this stuff worked. You know what I mean? Unless you were in the know, you were in the government, or you had experience in the private sector, you didn't know how any of this stuff worked. Nobody talked about it, and if you did talk about it, you were shut down as a conspiracy theorist. But here we are. I mean, the whole world gathering together around the kumbaya fire of the internet and saying, hey, something ain't right here. We're getting screwed on this deal. So it says $230 million in direct federal awards, yet much of the documentation about their work is inaccessible without an internal login. Even so, their public-facing pages and scientific papers reveal clear participation, which is crazy. Imagine what they're hiding, in stratospheric aerosol assessments and other geoengineering research. The university to geoengineering pipeline is a real problem, and one that I discussed with Dane Wigington on Back to the People a few weeks ago. Yeah, something's got to happen.
We have an interview with Dane coming up later in the show.
Do you want to play this one here? This is
it's a minute 24. Let's go ahead and play it.
Yeah, let's do it.
And I think this message is very important to get through to young people right now, because they are being recruited at an alarming rate. If you're at Harvard today or at Stanford, there is a geoengineering group at both of these schools, and they're recruiting young people to either, one, be activists for geoengineering, or they're being recruited to work at the firms that are responsible for conducting the geoengineering. That's where some of our best scientists and young people are going these days. They're being misdirected.
Right.
How do we stop the fear-mongering that states that don't throw the baby out with the bathwater?
We know these programs are ongoing. We would argue at geoengineeringwatch.org that climate engineering, solar radiation management, is a recipe for near-term planetary omnicide. So not only is it ubiquitously contaminating the entire biosphere,
that was a statement,
no exceptions, everywhere, but it's also destroying the ozone layer, which by itself is a near-term existential threat. There are many forms of human activity that are problematic for the ozone layer, but nothing mathematical even compares mathematically to what climate engineering is doing. And this is a known consequence of climate engineering. The climate science community admits that if we geoengineered, as if we haven't been for decades, that this would occur.
You know what really is super duper annoying about all of that is that for years, they try to, govern what you can do, what you can consume, and what you do with your own belongings for the sake of climate change or global warming. And then you look at stuff like this and you realize it's not me. It's not my paper straw. It's none of that. It's you guys out here doing crazy stuff. You guys are doing
it. And then you're doing it. You want to put a climate tax on us. You want to put a climate tax on us. Yeah. I mean, I will say that's one good thing Trump did was take us out of the Paris Climate Accords. Is that would have had us enslaved to the rest of the world and only being able to drive a certain allotted amount of miles. I hate to tell you guys, but I don't know if you guys are foreigners or what. In America, if you're not like in a big city with public transportation, we drive
Yes,
everywhere.
everywhere.
Nothing's close by. We drive everywhere. So that ain't gonna fly here.
Right.
Even if they try to make a law, that's not gonna fly here.
Right. My closest gas station is like probably a 3-hour walk. You know what I mean? It's forever away. Yeah.
Yeah. You can't get around without a car, especially
No.
we live around Charlotte. Everything's spread out. You can't get nowhere without that unless you live right in the city and can take the bus. You have to drive.
Right.
And they're spraying all this stuff, but they still have to kill all the cows from the farmers. They have it's all a big anti-human agenda, man.
Right.
Driven by spiritual darkness.
Right.
I don't even think the people that, we'll talk about it a little later, but the people doing this, I don't even think they know why they're doing this. They're just driven to do this.
Well, that's a good point, because in that video we just now watched, what she was saying is that these are students that go into the colleges. They're being taught to do these experiments. They're receiving the research funding. And then in some ways, it's kind of like the scratch your back, I scratch yours type of thing.
Yeah,
where
that's all it is.
Yeah, the students get to do the work, and then the companies that paid for it take their credit and their work in exchange for the credibility and the suitability to then get a job when you get out of school.
Hey, interest rates are sky high. Inflation, the dollar isn't worth anything. Hardly anybody in your generation can own a home.
Dude.
So, if you want to own a house, you're going to have to do your part in destroying this world and bringing in the tribulation. So, do you want to, be a house? You want to have a home and be included in the club, or do you want to, be one of the losers working and being tax chattel? Which one do you want to be?
That's right.
You know what I mean?
That's right.
There's no jobs out there curing cancer.
Yeah. You get to create it.
You know what I'm saying? There's no. Yeah, we're not pushing for any of that.
No,
let's put some aluminum. Let's put some aluminum in the sky. Put some barium in the sky.
Right.
Yeah.
It's crazy, man.
Block out. Let's not cure cancer. Let's block out the sun.
Oh, sorry, I didn't see you guys in the chat there.
Clap it up for the morons that believe in climate change. Let's clap it up for them,
Good for you guys. An applause for you.
Somehow you made it this far, barely being smart enough to breathe.
I just realized I didn't see you guys were in the chat there.
It's a real accomplishment. It's a real accomplishment.
Iron, good to see you, man. I hope you're doing well. Miss Connor Rain, so glad you're here. And then Melissa, hey, thanks for coming back and hanging out with us. It's good to see you again.
Hey, welcome in, guys.
Iron says, I used to work in the energy industry for about 10 years. I can tell you so much about this. Melissa says she didn't get a live notification. I'm not shocked by that, actually. I'm not shocked by that at all.
If you're watching on YouTube, they hate us. They hate us. They hate us. Gosh, they hate us. We took a little break even to maybe let the algorithm chill, and they hate us.
Right. You know how in Grand Theft Auto or Need for Speed, you hang out to let your bounty drop? You know what I mean? We thought that would work for YouTube. It didn't.
No, we've been shadow banned forever. So sorry, Melissa. Every Sunday at 8 p.m., unless we have some kind of weird stuff going on, we'll be on here. Also, be on the lookout for our Sodom and Gomorrah video. We're gonna get to it.
Yes.
It's been a lot of busyness over here, and we both work a whole lot and got families, man. So we get a little busy, but we'll be here every Sunday at 8 p.m. for sure.
Right.
Yeah, man. This is crazy stuff, man.
It is.
The thing is like, I just don't understand. What do they think they're doing? Do they think they're doing something good? I mean, and also, Iron, I work in fiber optics and a lot with the towers and 5G and all this type of stuff, man. And the way I see it is we're building the grid you won't be able to get away from. It's everywhere.
Right.
It's out in like the country. I mean, it's everywhere. There's these big towers all over the place, and I have to go around and service them and look at them and everything. And they're building. It's not just for high-speed internet. This stuff is very, very powerful. And around these towers, I mean, you can feel the difference in the frequencies around them, having to work out there and everything else. It's wow. Yeah. You can some of them you can really feel a change in how you feel out there.
Wow, that's insane. I'll tell you what, man. You look at this long enough with at least a sober mindset, and there's so many options that you can take to prevent X, Y, and Z to protect yourself. But this is an attack on all fronts, man. I mean, they attack you through the money, through the taxes, through the water, through the food. They attack, I mean, it's through the education. You can see it right here. We're showing this entire interconnected web.
You know who printed off all the standardized testing and books for our education system?
Oh, I do know this. I do know this.
Pergamon Press, owned by Robert Maxwell. Speaking of Epstein, that would be Ghislaine's father.
Yes, that's right. I remember this.
Mossad agent. I mean, when he died, they gave him a big Mossad salute and buried him on the Mount of Olives.
Did they really on the olives?
Oh yeah, considered the source of where all this education comes from, and you have your Common Core stuff that came out of the UN, and Lucius Trust was involved in that. They changed their name right before that. They were called Lucifer Publishing. I mean,
remember that.
The whole thing has been, and then don't even get me started on Rockefeller, the year of the Geneva Convention. I mean, all that type of stuff. We've been dumbed down. Academically, scholastically, chemically, I mean, spiritually. I mean, the whole system has been beating down people worldwide, not just in the U.S., everywhere.
That's right.
I mean, it's just a real dark spiritual force that's been guiding this planet for the last 100 years and more.
That's what it is. It's spiritual.
Yeah, since the turn of the 20th century. I mean, and right before that too, with the occultic explosion in the UK and all over Europe. I mean, it's honestly, if you want to think about it, really starting in 1776 with the founding of the Bavarian Illuminati, and you had the Frankists that were there, and the Freemasonry, and then you have the founding of the New Atlantis with America. You have all this stuff going on, and it's just been a constant thing, and I think it's all leading and coming to a head in the next, hopefully not few months, but hopefully we got a few years to get everything together. I know a lot of people still need to prep up and to pray up and get their lives right, man. I see it coming to a head, and then I saw that with the red heifer practice ceremony. They're getting ready for this third temple.
Yeah,
and if you watch how Israel's maneuvering themselves, man, it's you can tell they're getting ready to have an empire there in the Middle East.
That's right. That greater Israel plan.
They're not going to take that Temple Mount. You're out of your mind.
Right. Exactly right. You know, it's so funny you say it like that, talking about 1776 and all the things that we've seen established. You know, if you think about it this way, Christ, let's just say that the timeline is correct. We can talk. If you guys think the timeline isn't correct, we can hang. But let's just say it is, and let's say Christ died 2,025 years ago. You know, let's just say that's the case, right? 2000 for sake of argument. I think Charles Gutenberg in the printing press, I don't think that's like 1592, and so you have the original King James version from 1611. That means we finally had our weapon, right? Because the word is our sword, right? We finally got a weapon in around the 1600s. I understand there was more translations for King James. I get that, but that means they had a 1600-year head start on us to develop a foundation, the inner workings and the walls that it takes to have what they have today. And here we are in 2025, and we have this entire fortitude of an enemy who has surrounded us on all sides and attacking us from all angles, the way that you just now described. There is basically no hope other than Christ.
And all the innovation's been pushing towards a massive control system to where you won't be able to escape.
Right. You got Jesus, and that's it, dude. I mean, that's it. There's no way.
We keep saying it. Jesus is the only white pill. I almost wanted to do a show on that, man. And let's not go too far down the rabbit hole on this.
Sure. Sure.
Because really, that's really what we're going back and forth with. Because Jesus really is the only white pill. If you're trusted in Trump, sorry, man. He's human. And he does things that are good, and he does things that are bad, and he does some things that are really good, and he does some things that are really bad. You can't trust in man. You got to trust in God. That's really what it comes down to, man. Yeah. You can either trust in God or trust in nothing if you're an honest person. I mean, look, when you're looking at it, you can either trust nothing, take the black pill, or you can trust in Jesus to take the white pill. It's really the only two options, because if you're a intelligent person, you look at all the data, you see, man, nothing's right. Nothing is right when you get down to the important things.
That's right. Very well said. All right, man, we can continue on there. That's it's so easy to slip down into the root of everything.
Well, it's all just coming out of the heart of darkness, man. It really is all the same thing, and it all does connect.
All of this now.
It is. Sorry, let me pause this.
I think the cat.
I got to be careful, man, because
what the South Pole Station.
We can get to talking about this, and we both end up looking like Charlie in front of the board, trying to connect all the dots in a big spider web. You know?
Yeah, that's so true.
But it really does. It all connects because it all comes out of the depths of hell, as far as I'm concerned.
Yeah, Iron agrees. He says the switch from fossil fuel to electricity has nothing to do with the environment, but it's all about them having control. Melissa says even the lowest parking lot cameras can read your car tags. Exactly. Yeah. There's no escaping. There's no escape.
Facial recognition. They have this and I'm trying not to harp on Israel too bad, man. I really am. But they have this facial recognition stuff in Israel to where if, like a Palestinian or something like that has like an angry look on the face, it'll determine he's a threat. And they'll dispatch people to go. Yeah, that 100%, man.
No, that's insane.
And I mean, the stuff they have in China is like
that's
in 1984. And honestly, we aren't much better. Take a look around at all the cameras, and you know what I mean.
Right.
It's all in place, man. It's all in place, and you know you're not going to be able to fight against this stuff.
That's right.
Without taking a big L. I mean, it's just overwhelming. You got to take that white pill and just trust in Jesus, man.
That's it, man. Man. This comes here from CAZ. This is Paul Revere Jr. That's such a great name. All right. Last week at the White House, Trump said, "We have weapons that no one can possibly fathom."
Last week, Trump was sitting in the Oval Office and he said to a reporter that we have weapons that no one can possibly fathom, that no one has ever even dreamed about, so powerful that nuclear weapons don't even fucking, and that's what he said right at the White House. And then you got this guy saying that we have the technology to manipulate time and space. Like, okay. Last week,
I don't know why every time I see one of his videos I feel at home. It's the music, it's the smoke from the obvious cigarette he's burning in the garage. I feel so at home.
Hey, I lost you for a second.
Oh, did you really?
For a second, brother. Did everything go okay?
Let me check real quick, make sure we didn't lose any connection. Yeah, we're in the green. Everything's cool.
No, nothing's wrong. Sure.
Yeah. Okay. Thanks for letting me know. All right. This is 6 minutes and 33 seconds. I can't guarantee we'll watch all of it, but we'll check it out.
I think the cat is out of the bag on all of this now. But I'm curious what the South Pole Station is, and when you work there, how it actually is able to be used as an earthquake generating machine, what else it's doing there. And maybe how this is tied to the current weather events and all of the things that we're seeing right now across the United States. Can you give our audience more of an overview of that?
Absolutely. The South Pole Station has a system known as the Ice Cube Neutrino Detector. It is currently the world's largest phased array transmitter. This is basically Tesla technology. I'm sure a lot of the audience is familiar with systems like HARP, which is effectively built on the surface of the Earth, and it has a 2D situation. It has length and width as far as a phased array goes. The South Pole Station differs in so far as it also goes down deep into the ice, giving it a third dimension, length, width, and height. So it has exponential more, I guess you would say, capabilities, targeting discharge of power. It's like HARP on steroids, basically. So yes, it generated the earthquakes that occurred in Christchurch, New York.
That's insane. The thing is, if you think about, all right, so weather makes sense to me, right? I can understand how you can control the weather. I can actually imagine the process in my brain and image that in. But to create earthquakes, I mean, we are taught, I know that we can debate about this if you guys want to, but we're taught about tectonic plates. You know what I mean? How in the world are you shifting those things around? What power, what magnitude you have to shift tectonic plates around and cause earthquakes is just... That's insane, man.
New Zealand in February of 2011.
And you told me before, I'll let you go on in a second, but when you and I chatted on the phone a few weeks ago, you mentioned, I don't know if you can say this now or if I'm speaking telling tales out of school here, but you were speaking to a source that you worked with at the South Pole Station. Since you left there, So the technology has gotten so advanced now with these generation of earthquakes that it's like an autopilot system in an aircraft. I think you described it, that it's so advanced now. It would blow your mind at how targeted these earthquakes are.
Pause it real
that
quick.
They can use from the South
Pause it just for just a second. All right, so if it's all right now, imagine that kind of power being controlled by an AI that is out of control.
Oh gosh, dude, why'd you say that? Oh, I hate every bit of that. I wish you didn't say that.
Well, add that into it, because that's a whole nother thing. This a whole nother wave of technology that's being added to the mix now.
Right.
So I know we've talked about, you know, Enoch and how, you know, some of the fallen that take the form of lightning and can't change. Well, what is lightning? It's electricity.
Right.
So I mean, to me, it's just, you could see the ghost in the machine type of scenario, right?
Right.
Where Abaddon's released from the bottomless pit.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? Takes the form of lightning, controls the AI that controls Harp, and then starts tearing the world apart.
Dude, it's
controlling the weather, calling fire down from heaven.
That's devastating, bro.
Using this technology and using AI to mimic the things of God and bring magnification to the man of sin. I mean, there's just, there's so many things that you can look at here.
That was my immediate thought when he was talking about having an on autopilot earthquake center. It's like, so what's stopping you guys from creating massive sinkholes? You know what I mean? And I understand that you have to have the angel come down. He's given the keys to the bottomless pit. But I mean, man, I'm not gonna sit here and pretend to understand it all, but this sounds like straight out of like the book of Revelation type. This is just insane. Let me catch up with this for a second. Iron says, I fully rely on Jesus. I'm not even prepping. Jesus will bring me what I need when the brown substance hits the fan. Yeah, that's where I'm at too, Iron. It's like, look, I will do everything I can to provide for my wife and my child. I'll do all the prepping, the necessities, the gardening. I'll buy generators, etc. But I'm not going to trust it or put my faith in it. I'm just doing what I think is fair to my daughter. But at the end of the day, when tribulation hits, if I find grace and favor within the eyes of the Lord, thank you. But if not, I'm just going to patiently await my death. What can I do? I have no options. I have no options.
Yeah.
Iron says
the only thing I would say, I'm sorry. The only thing I would say is just with the prepping stuff and stuff like that. No, of course you rely on Jesus for faith and everything like that.
Yeah.
I want to make it as easy as I possibly can for my kids to not take the mark. So I want to try and have food stocked up. You know what I mean? Because we're not going to be able to buy or sell, and I'm not taking the mark. So I want to try and, you know, make it as it's going to be the tribulation regardless, but I want to try and make it as seamless as it can for the kids, and to try and get away. We have, you know, a spot where we're going to meet up at and all that type of stuff, and just try and have community through it, and with good Christian people, you know what I mean?
That's something I respect a lot about you is I've spent some time around your kids here lately because they've been getting into the martial arts and boxing and kickboxing and stuff. And I think you've done a great job raising your children with the expectation of this being a possibility within their lifetime. And they are rough. I mean, those are some strong boys, man. Real strong boys. They will grow into some very, very good men. And I hope that most Christians do that.
You have to be a good man and a dangerous man. You can't just be a good man anymore. You have to have the propensity to protect yourself and your loved ones.
Right. You gotta be solid, man.
Because I'm telling you, man, they'll kill you and think they're doing God a service.
Exactly.
I would just say, man, just please have a plan for your family. Just give yourself a good chance and a community to go to. So give yourself a good chance to be one of the ones that survives till the end. You know what I mean?
Right.
That's what I want to do. And I'll be honest with you, there is a selfish aspect in it.
Of course.
I want to see everything go down.
Me too.
You know what I mean? If it happens while I'm alive, God forbid, I don't want my kids or my loved ones. I really don't want anybody to go through it. But if it does happen, and it's gonna happen, I want to see it all, man. I'm curious. I want to see it go down. I want to see what happens. I want to see those two witnesses. You know what I mean? I want to see it. I want to see it.
Right. I want to see it too. I know it's not going to be fun. I think it's Jeremiah that says that the day of the Lord is not something to look forward to. It is a day of darkness. It is neither day nor night, and that is why it is called the Lord's Day. And it's a dreadful, dreadful day. But man, is it a legendary one? And those who are alive to see it, what an interesting generation of humans that must be. So very good conversation. That's fun.
Basically the trick of it all, one of the things that I learned when I went to this event in Alamosa, Colorado, I spoke with a gentleman by the name of Dr. Simeon Hine, and he was doing a presentation on ball lightning. And one of the things that he discussed was how there are reports when earthquakes occur that ball lightning, I guess you would say, is ejected, manufactured by the earthquake. So I engaged him in a dialogue, and I said, well, Doc, wouldn't there be some sort of symmetry there, that if an earthquake can discharge ball lightning, wouldn't we be able to deliver ball lightning to generate an earthquake? And he agreed that it's just simply the matter of being able to deliver said energy, which for all practical purposes, think of it having an explosive capacity to it. So if you can wirelessly transmit energy from a power supply somewhere on Earth, deliver it to another location, the end result is quite simply an earthquake. Wireless transmission of energy is something that Nikola Tesla has brought up, 100 some odd years ago now?
Right. Here, I did a quick Google search over here for what ball lightning is because I'm unfamiliar with it. And Wikipedia says ball lightning is a rare and unexplained phenomenon described as luminescent spherical objects that vary from pea-sized to several meters in diameter, though usually associated with thunderstorms. The observed phenomenon.
Is that what the orbs are?
Dude, I was just about to say that. Exactly. It says the observed phenomenon is reported to last considerably longer than the split-second flash of a lightning bolt, and is a phenomenon distinct from St. Elmo's fire and the will-o'-the-wisp. Very, very interesting. So, that's interesting. So, if you guys have been around the conspiracy train for a while, or have been in the Christian conspiracy train, you're probably familiar with the term, the orbs, right? The light orbs. Everybody was seeing them like 5 years ago. They were everywhere. Me and my wife saw one. We were sitting in the car one night. We watched it, and it just sat over there, not too far away from the car, and it just started to fly towards us, and we got freaked out, and it went right in front of the hood of my car, and then rode right up my windshield, and it was gone. Didn't make a sound, no propellers, no nothing. I mean, it was so close I could have reached out and grabbed it. And we were freaked out, man. But that's very interesting to think. Ball lightning. That's interesting.
So this is the state of the union, is that Nikola Tesla discovered this stuff. The powers that be absconded his information. They cordoned it off away from the mass population, and have been monopolizing the use of these types of technologies for many decades now. We the people are suffering under this monopoly of technology by our oppressors. It's literally just that simple. And
right.
That would be the motive for them to have agents, for lack of a better term, flooding the disclosure community with BS
right.
to muddy the waters and confuse us, we the people, so that we can continue to be wholly oppressed and well managed.
That's right. And stay vigilant, because they'll fill the space with false information.
You witnessed this ice cube neutrino machine in action. So it goes deep, and it's and much larger than HARP. And I guess just walk us through what they would be using this for. How would they be manipulating the weather? How would they be manipulating and targeting earthquakes around the world? Why would they be doing this? And who is in control of the South Pole Station at this point? Is it the United States government? You were a contractor with Raytheon when you were there. Is it a private enterprise? Who is controlling it?
Great questions. First and foremost, one of the things that the former crew members had emphasized to me to try to get people to understand as I'm trying to get this information out there is that you have to understand it's just very easy now to deliver that energy anywhere on the planet. It's not challenging.
Like they can pick a spot. They can They can pick a spot in Iran, and they can just dial it in on the computer and launch an earthquake.
Very good point.
Deliver the energy
targeted earthquakes in
The
Iran.
term that people should become familiar with is earthquake induction or earthquake inducing. So similar to like when you go on the internet and you Google chemtrails, right? You're going to get a whole bunch of baloney that says chemtrails are garbage, blah, blah. But if you Google the term stratospheric aerosol injection,
exactly,
you'll start to find all of the science of what's really going on when they crisscross our skies. So
and the patents and all of that.
Absolutely,
yes.
yeah. So if you look up inducing earth,
you said stop.
No, I said it's all there in the papers, just like we were saying.
Yeah,
you just have to know the key word. You have to speak the
language,
legalese language. Basically, it's just all semantical wordplay.
Right. You gotta know the code.
Earthquakes or earthquake induction, you will become privy to a sea of information and science that supports the existence of this technology. It's just that available. People just need to start paying attention to what's going on in the world around them and this disparity in technology. As far as who's running the facility, I'm not 100% sure. This was part of that conversation that I had in Washington, D.C., is because it seems like these, unacknowledged special access programs, USAP, which anybody who's paying close attention, USAP is the actual title of the Antarctic program. It's the United States Antarctic Program, USAP. It is a USAP program by definition. So.
Wow. And he's exactly right. It's always been that way, right? It's always been straight in our face. It's always something that's been accessible and easy to find through, the internet. But you can't find it when you just Google it. Is the government killing us with clouds and sky? You know what I mean? It doesn't work that way.
One thing that stood out to me was how he talked about how easy it is to cause us anywhere. Could we go back to the images?
Yeah, for sure.
Just pull up that grid one more time for anybody that wasn't in here on the at the beginning. Yeah.
Yeah, that's insane. That's insane.
And, yeah, they'll hit you anywhere.
Right.
They can get you anywhere. Whether you're in Hawaii, or whether you're in Iran, or whether you're in Texas, it does not matter. They can get you anywhere.
Yeah, man. I mean, it looks like the safest places on the map seem to be the most
striking in this. I'm sorry.
No, you're cool. No, you're cool. I'm just you're fine.
What's striking in this, man, is when it talks about down there in Antarctica and who's really running it. Well, you see this HARP system is set up all over the world with all these different governments of the world. You see it set up here, right?
Right.
So then you see all the governments of the world with the Antarctic Treaty, all the major ones anyways, and they never violate that. Right. What we see on the world stage is just it's just theater. It's all just theater. It's a bloody meat grinder of a theater with lots of people that die, useless eaters basically. That they send the pour off to war, just like the song said, to kind of coal us and keep the population down.
Right.
And to keep everybody in fear and subservient. But, when it comes to HARP, all the countries of the world seem to be in on it.
Exactly.
And when it comes to Antarctica, all the countries of the world seem to be in on it.
Or the Epstein files.
What's that?
Or the Epstein files. Yeah, all of a sudden we all get along now. Everyone's on the same team.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
It's just wild. Whenever it's something that's big, it just, everybody's in on it.
Yeah, it's wild, man. It's just, and at some point, it almost becomes comical, man. It's just insane. It is insane. Let's see. I think this is where we are. So this comes from Teresa Fazzolari. That's a fun name to say. And it says, everyone's suddenly talking about cloud seeding. Oh yeah, it was a humongous storm down in Texas. So this has kind of become, popular to talk about. Because they want you focused on the visible layer of weather manipulation. But that is just the distraction. The real tech behind weather control and mass dysregulation is frequency-based and much more advanced. And that's what that guy in the video just now said. It's essentially Tesla technology, We had a really cool video we did one day about the old world and the ether and stuff. Man, how interesting was that? HARP,
Who was it that found Tesla's notebooks and got all his research? Do you remember who that was?
Yeah, that would be Donald Trump's uncle, who was, I believe, the director of the CIA at the time.
he's a professor at MIT.
MIT, okay.
I believe he was involved in the FBI. But yeah, he was the one that went in and got all this research and everything. So just a little nugget for you guys.
Right, that's the same man that just now said 10 years of no restrictions on AI technology at all. I mean, it's just, man, it just keeps going in circles here. HARP, Gwyn Towers, weaponized EMF grids. These are being used not just to alter the climate, but to assault the human nervous system. That's scary. Suppress mood, disrupt sleep, and induce confusion or fatigue. And again, we were talking earlier about RFK and the Maha movement, and we see it's just like we said earlier, it's a war on all fronts, and it's all designed to destroy the temple of your body. It's just insane. If you felt anxious, dizzy, emotionally unstable, or completely wiped out, you're not imagining it. It's frequency warfare, and it's ramping up. What can you do to shield your field? Stay grounded, walk barefoot on Earth daily. Use Suge Knight. Sorry. Sorry, I couldn't help myself. Black tourmaline or orgonite near devices or on your body. Consider EMF shielding paint, fabric, or bed canopies if you're in high exposure areas. Unplug your Wi-Fi at night and avoid Bluetooth wearables. Support your pineal gland, iodine, zeolite, and grounding. And most importantly, keep your frequency high. Prayer, breath work, heart coherence, real food, and truth. This isn't just about rain, hurricanes, or floods. It's about full spectrum control of your environment, biology, and consciousness. Yep. Awareness is your first layer of protection. It is. I mean, really, it is.
Awareness is good, but put on the armor of God. That's going to be the number one thing.
Layer. Yeah, exactly right.
Because the poster sounds a little new agey, but they're right.
They are.
You have to be in touch with God. You have to be in touch with nature, and you have to be aware. But the number one thing is put on the armor of God, because this really is, I think, a more spiritual thing than what people realize.
Absolutely.
Anytime you see the governments of the world playing God, you can bet that there's a spiritual force behind it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's a pretty fair statement, I think. That's a very, very fair statement. Melissa says they dump bunker fuels from ships, making clouds and manipulating the weather with Doppler radar as well. I'm unfamiliar with that. I've never heard that before. Yeah, that's what she says.
They check that out.
Yeah, definitely check that. They dump bunker fuels with ships, making clouds and manipulating the weather Doppler as well. Interesting. So the fuel, I'm assuming, gets dumped into the ocean. I wonder how that creates the clouds. If you have information on that you'd be willing to share within the chat, I'd love to learn about things. I'm unfamiliar with that.
Yeah, please share so we'll pull it up and check it out.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, I don't know if you have link permissions, but if you can drop a link in the chat, as long as it'll perm you, we'll do it. This says, boom, HARP's death grid is blasting America with energy pulses right now. The silent war has gone hot. HARP and Gwyn Towers are hitting America with weaponized energy pulses. Right now, this isn't a drill. The deep state has activated a full-scale assault on your mind, body, and soul. It's unbelievable. Feeling anxious, dizzy, wiped out for no reason? You're not alone. Across the country, people are experiencing strange symptoms. Known world. Yeah, no, it's, wow, the West Coast is just getting lit up, man. Lit up. And you have to wonder, I mean, this has got to be so far beyond. Do you guys remember the SpongeBob movie where Plankton puts like these buckets on people's heads and then he has like this antenna that brainwashes everybody? I can't help but think that this is so much more beyond just the physical realm.
Yeah, that's what I wanted to say too. Is you remember we talked about Yuval Harari and how humans are hackable animals now?
Yes, I remember that. Yes.
What about putting these heavy metals in the atmosphere and in the sky and in the water? If that's not a way to and then you factor in, I don't feel like sound like one of the far out guys. The 5G is gonna get you, but think about it. You have all these frequencies with these heavy metals, and then you have the leaders of the WF talking about humans are hackable animals, and it's got to be connected, right?
Right.
It's got to be.
Yeah. Your own thoughts are just electrical impulses sent out through the synapses in your spine, right? So if it's all through some type of form of electricity and frequency, disruption is not improbable. You know what I mean? It's not impossible.
It had the voice of God weapons forever, talk about Havana syndrome and all that type of stuff.
Yes, exactly.
I mean, that was in the 60s and 70s.
It's forever ago. I do know that.
Yeah, that's nothing compared to what we have now. We're teleporting whole
Right.
planes into the shadow realm.
Right. Exactly. Iron says, all right, I gotta hit the hay. Y'all have a good one for now. Well, Iron, thanks so much for stopping
Hey, brother,
by, man.
thanks for showing up, man. Appreciate it.
Yeah, get you some good rest, man. We'll see you later. Wow, that's so funny. You're right. I forgot about it. Just teleporting airplanes into the shadow realm. When geoengineering starts your day and finishes it. Oh, the frequency. Harp. Here we are. Yeah, man. You know, I like older movies. I like to go back and see movies from the 70s and 60s and stuff. And if you see the skies in those movies, man.
Dude, I can't remember the movie. They went back and added chemtrails into the sky in some of the movies. Do you remember, we saw that?
Yes, I remember that. Oh, man. Disrespectful. And I forgot all about that, bro. That's so crazy.
Oh, look at this. Right,
yeah, this is
before
insane.
we start this, let's go over the comments. I want to make sure this hasn't been noted or say it's fake or anything like that, because it looks insane. Oh,
I mean, it's thick.
There we go. Yeah,
let's see any
let's go to the top, watch
notes.
the video, then we'll come back through and look at some of these trails, man.
Yeah. Yeah, so this comes from Wall Street Apes. It says, these people are going to kill us with all their geoengineering, chemtrails, electromagnetic radio frequency, and microwave radiation that they're putting into our atmosphere.
Which means that all living things will die. If this video isn't proof that we're under attack, that nature is under attack, the sunlight is being blocked from us. Without sunlight, photosynthesis can't occur, which means that all living things will die eventually. And we at the same time have the world leaders, the United Nations and the World Economic Forum telling us by the year 2030, they will fulfill the Great Reset and completely transition us from this current system into a new system of artificial intelligence.
That's weird
where
looking,
they openly
dude.
brag about
What
not
the heck?
needing nature anymore, because now they are the new creators of life, inorganic life. We have to do something now, or else we're gonna find ourselves in a position without being able to depend on nature and being forced to depend on them.
He's right. He's right. Man, that is just freaky right there, man. That is so freaky. And, you know, it's so funny. You see what they're building right here. They're building either a deck or an extension to this house. Construction workers, we're out there, man. Blue collar guys are outside all the time. You know, we see this stuff, you know, and it's something different than what you used to see from just, you know, even something as short as 50 years ago. The amount of people that used to be outside.
You go back up to that first one real quick.
You said the first one?
Yeah, first picture. No, just the picture. Yeah,
oh, sure.
No, go down. There you go. Yeah. How many of you guys have seen that?
Every day.
I'd venture to say anybody that looks up has, right?
Every day.
I see it every day going to work. That's not natural. That's not natural.
Right.
And you can see when planes aren't spraying, it does leave a trail, but it dissipates very, very fast. It doesn't linger like that and then spread out and the whole sky gets all murky. Let's go down to the video underneath and let's check it out, man.
Yeah, and that's the good point there, is that it's not, doesn't stay like that. Give it a couple hours and all of a sudden those lines spread out.
Yeah, like that.
Right. Where the heck are they? This must be a music
That's
park
in California.
Or something. Okay. It looked like a old like Tweety Railroad or something. All right, why did the community notes say that chemtrails do not exist? Are you really seeing this? Cloud seeding is common and chemtrails is no different. Hire some experts to police these notes. Yeah, look at this. This is in Las Vegas, Nevada. I mean, unbelievable. Dude, that's weird, bro. That's weird. That's really, really weird. Unbelievable. Here's one more. This was in Florida.
And that's what happens after they
right
spray all over the place. It spreads out and you get those fake clouds.
Right.
And just nasty haze. You can see that's not natural.
No. And you know what's really sad about that, man? I don't know why this just grieved my heart so bad. I never even thought about this before. Is that my daughter will never even know what a real sky looks like, dude. That just broke my heart to even think about that. I mean, she's 7 months old now. She'll never know. You know what I mean? So I'm looking at her telling her that's not natural, that's not real. And she's like, well, how do I know? I've never even seen it. I don't even know what a real sky looks like. That just broke me, bro. I never even had that thought before. That's so sad. I mean, what the heck are we talking about? It's so sad. Let's see. According to Community Notes, this is a conspiracy theory, the anticipatory governance of solar radiation management. So he's saying, yeah, it's a conspiracy theory, yet here's the work that you guys publish. It's unbelievable. This is so sad, man. This comes from the Concerned Citizen. It says, soon you will start receiving disclose on this and be told it's to protect the planet from climate change by blocking the sun.
Oh, hold on 1 second. Yeah, that's the cycle, isn't it? Oh, it's not happening. That's a conspiracy theory. Oh, no, they're doing it, but just a little bit. No, they're definitely doing it all the time, and it's good for you. It just goes in that circle. It's, that's how what happens every time.
Every time, bro.
Yeah, every time. No, we are actually doing this, but it's good for you, and you should like it.
Oh my gosh, man, that's too funny. That's exactly how it works every single time. Let's see this. Good music for this. This is actually a really good choice of song. It's like this dystopian air raid warfare against our. That was a perfect song for that, dude. That was insane.
Let me also throw out another nightmarish idea for you, man.
Sure.
What happens when they start spraying all that in the sky, but they're also including nanites in it?
Right, exactly. Yeah, I do.
You know what I mean?
I think about that all the time.
If you won't take this poison vaccine, you're going to breathe it in. Yeah. You're going to get this mRNA, these nanites, and this aluminum, and these heavy metals in your body, boy, and you're going to like it.
Whether you want to or not.
That's what I see when I see it. I'm like, man, I keep going to the worst possible case scenario. I mean, it's just, there's
Don't put
a lot
anything
of
past
nightmare fuel here.
Yeah, don't put anything past them, man. If you've thought about it and you've got a good soul, a good heart, I guarantee you they've thought about it, considered implementing it, and more than likely are doing it as we speak. This comes from just a place of wickedry and evil. Part of me wonders if they have the gall to think that putting these things up in the sky will possibly block us from seeing some type of sign or wonder in the stars or from heaven or from God. Seeing as we've been kind of on this revelation thought. I don't think it would work, but I don't put it past their ego. You know what I mean?
I mean, even in a scenario to where you have a fake tribulation,
exactly,
a fake, with Project Bluebeam and HARP and all this, the moon's not going to give its light, or the moon's going to disappear, and the sun's not going to give its light. They're going to try and artificially do this.
Right.
A lot of people think that not only are they spraying the sun, but they're also developing artificial suns. I mean, there's no end to this. I mean, mad science experiment. I mean, just imagine if all these evil people that were doing this type of stuff. I mean, they can do, they have earthquake weapons, bro. What if they were putting their minds to good things and fruitful things? You know what I mean? Like, imagine the kind of wonderful things that we could do for humanity.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And it's just a shame that these talented people put themselves in the position to affect the world in such a negative way when they could have such a good impact.
Right. So true. Well, the things you can do with tons of time, infinite amount of funding, and then influence from darker energies through, whatever you're doing, meditation or whatever. ritualistic behavior. I mean, man, that's just, the possibilities are endless, dude. We'd be able to stop it if we all weren't, caught up in the rat race all the time. I really do think that we've just been in the rat race for so long that by the end of Friday night, dude, I just want to sit down and just take a breath. It's just exhausting out here. This comes in from Camus at New Start. Exactly. It's not by accident, that's for sure. Geoengineering recruitment at elite universities, a dire warning from experts. In a recent discussion, environmental researchers Dane Wigington and Nicole Shanahan raised urgent concerns about the aggressive recruitment of, here it is, young talent into geoengineering programs at top-tier universities like Harvard and Stanford. Here we just went over this. According to Shanahan, these institutions host specialized geoengineering groups actively seeking students either to become activists promoting the technology or join the very companies responsible for its implementation.
That's what we watched. That's what we watched earlier. Yeah.
That's it. I mean, that's it. And you said it so well, Austin, when you're looking at a young person who's 20, 22 years old and they're, already coming out of school, let's just say on the low side, $50,000 worth of debt, and you see all these other people who are struggling to make ends meet, and then you have this promising career with a fancy little wage and a nice house and a future, and I mean, man, 22 years old, man, that's a hard decision to make. You know what I mean? Especially when you've been
brainwashed to think you're doing it for the good of the planet.
Exactly what I was about to say. Exactly right. They're being misdirected, emphasizing that some of the brightest young minds are being funneled into an industry with catastrophic potential. Wigington, representing Geoengineering Watch, goes further, asserting that solar radiation management, a form of climate engineering, is a direct path to near-term planetary omnicide. That's right, I remember him saying that.
That was a bar.
Yeah, it was too. The dangers, he explains, are twofold: the irreversible contamination of the global biosphere, and second, the accelerated destruction of the ozone layer. While human activity has long posed risks to atmospheric ozone, Wigington stresses that geoengineering's impact is mathematically unparalleled, a consequence even acknowledged by mainstream climate scientists. The question remains, how can society combat the fear-driven narratives pushing these programs while avoiding the dismissal of legitimate environmental concerns? For Wigington and Shanahan, the answer lies in exposing the truth. That's all it is. That's actually a great answer to that question. How do you differentiate between the two? You have to have truth. Well, truth is the standard. It's the basis in which you can make all your responsible and coherent, rational decision makings. And you have to have that before the damage becomes irreversible.
Here's the issue here, is that all of these kids have grown up and been brainwashed into this fake environmentalist stuff. Like, I'm not against having good, clean water and good and clean air and healthy food. That's what this whole episode is about. But they've been brainwashed into this fake thing that humans are bad and that meat is bad and the gases from the cows are gonna, like, look, dude, this place was made for us above everything else. That's why we have dominion here. What the problem is that these kids were not raised in a biblical household, because they would understand that.
Right.
You try to be good stewards of the earth and take care of the water and take care of the the animals and make sure that you plant right, and there's biblical ways to plant and everything else. We're supposed to take care of things, but ultimately this climate frenzy, and we're all supposed to have been dead 10 years ago.
Oh yeah.
If these guys are telling the truth. We're all supposed to be underwater right now. Oklahoma was supposed to be beach property. You remember all this stuff? You remember the Al Gore videos on Inconvenient Truth and all this stupid stuff? We're all supposed to be dead by now. They're in this climate panic mode all the time, that they think that blotting out the sun is going to solve the problems. I mean, it's just insanity. Absolute insanity.
Right.
And if they had a biblical background at all, they would understand this place was made for us. You know what I mean?
Right.
And it's going to endure until the end, until this earth and passes away, and new earth and new heaven and new earth are created. They're at the end of Revelation. I mean, it's going to all pass away anyway.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? It's gonna endure till then. So if they had any kind of solid footing, they wouldn't be able to be fooled like this. But we've got so far away from that, not in just this country, but the entire earth, that people are being fooled to think that they can blot out the sun and it's a good thing. I mean, this is just complete insanity.
It's insanity.
You don't have to be a Christian to know that blotting out the sun is a bad thing.
Bad idea, bro. Yeah, bad idea.
We need vitamin D. The plants need the light to grow.
Right.
If you want food, even if you're a vegan, you still have to have light for your vegetables to grow. You still have to have light for the beans for your tofu to grow.
It's literally what plants crave. You have to have it.
Yeah, it's not Brondo, man, and that's what's going on. These guys have been so brainwashed by this fake environmentalist grift that they think blotting out the sun is good. It's no better than idiocracy.
Exactly.
Watering all the plants with Brondo. Why? Because Big Daddy told me so.
Exactly.
Oh, well, that's what plants crave. Yeah, it's insane, man. It's absolutely insane,
bro. It really is crazy. This next one comes in from the Chief Nerd. It says CBS News explains how solar engineering experiments are being conducted by Bill Gates and the United States government to dim the sun. One notion is that we could mimic volcanic eruptions by sending specially equipped airplanes into the stratosphere. Bill Gates backed a major project at Harvard using balloons to deploy aerosols. Come on, bro. Look at this guy. It says hard pass. Oh. That's a great comment. Hard pass.
What exactly is solar geoengineering?
A set of proposed technologies to rapidly cool the Earth by reflecting sunlight back into space.
The idea is based on the cooling effect of volcanic eruptions. When Mount Pinatubo in the Philippines erupted in 1991, it spewed 20 million tons of sulfur dioxide into the sky. That reflected so much sunlight, global temperatures dropped by an entire degree the following year.
So one notion is that we could mimic those volcanic eruptions by sending specially equipped airplanes into the stratosphere to do exactly the same thing.
Which I feel like is what they're already doing,
basically. The U.S.
basically.
government is now flying high-altitude planes through the stratosphere to study what sun-blocking gases may already be there. Microsoft founder Bill Gates backed a major project at Harvard using balloons to deploy aerosols, but tests were put on hold after some pushback. And while it may seem far-fetched, a recent United Nations report seriously considers using giant space mirrors to deflect sunlight, while other scientists propose mining moon dust and launching it at the sun.
I hate it here, man.
Bro,
I ain't gonna lie
so
to you.
sick
Come back.
of this, bro.
I'm so ready for Jesus to come in. Look, I am not the most educated guy. I'm not the smartest guy in the world, but I gotta say, man, these people that have all these degrees and are supposed to be the smartest and the best, the brightest, do the dumbest things.
I swear, bro.
I mean, by their logic, this planet is millions and billions and billions of years old, right? And it's been here the whole time with the sun without your giant, mirror satellites and your aluminum in the sky. Like, what are we talking about here?
Dude, what? I can't even imagine packing a bunch of mirrors, I'm so sick of this, man.
I gotta be honest with you, man. I gotta be honest with you. 2 questions. One, if the sun is like 93 million miles away, and when it comes, and it shines its light on the Earth, why isn't it light in space? That's one. Number two, if it's really that far away, what is a mirror gonna do?
Exactly. Right. You're gonna need like a. I'm thinking of Zoolander. The mirror is gonna need to be at least 3 times bigger than this. You're gonna need a humongous mirror.
I think all the people working on these projects need to go to Derek Zoolander's school for kids who can't read so good. Because this is ridiculous, man. This is ridiculous.
You
need the sun,
bro. You have to have it, bro. Sun. What are we talking about?
Everything in moderation, of course, but you need the sun. You need vitamin D.
Right.
Yeah.
This is just insane. Hold on 1 second, bro. I don't know why J. Cole's playing in the background, but we're about to get copyrighted real quick. Let's turn that off. I know that beat anywhere. All right, so they're talking about mirrors and moon dust. Let's turn this back a little bit.
Seriously considers using giant space mirrors to deflect sunlight, while other scientists propose mining moon dust and launching it at the sun.
Of course, great idea.
At the Palo Alto Research Center in Silicon Valley, this white tent is a makeshift lab for experiments with something called marine cloud brightening.
This will generate the plume that will contain...
Dude, I swear I know that face. We've done something on her for Ancient Echoes before. I swear I recognize her face.
It injects salt water into clouds over the ocean.
The idea is you'll make the clouds a little brighter, and that will reflect more sunlight back up into the atmosphere?
Exactly. That's the idea. Those effects could be beneficial or they could be negative.
Kelly Wanzer runs Silver Linings, an organization advocating for research into climate interventions like cloud brightening. But she says we need to quickly curb our planet-warming fossil fuel emissions because dimming the sun isn't a long-term solution. It's a sign of desperation.
This would not be the first choice.
No, or third or fourth choice. You have to compare it to...
Pause there, bro. Yeah, this is what I'm talking about. It's a sign of desperation because they've been worked up into a frenzy by this fake... Like, we could be doing so many good things for the environment, but they're so worked up by this fake hoax of, oh, it's, you know, global warming, that it's climate change and the polar bears and the ice caps. They're so worked up into it, they think, you know, we're desperate. We're going to all die. We have to block out the sun. Like, come on, man. Well, it's a desperation. Like, look, man, if it was that desperate, we'd all been dead. What, like 2008? Was that the year that Al Gore said we're all gonna die?
I can't remember. You know, it's been predicted a handful of times.
It's been so many different predictions. You know, in the 70s, we were about to have another ice age.
Exactly.
And, you know, honestly, that's the only, like, that's like the one thing that may happen by blocking out the sun. You cause an artificial ice age, at least in sections. You know what I mean?
Sure. Yeah, I can see that.
Which, you know, it isn't a good thing.
No,
so
it's
just insane to me that we would ever. Yeah, but you see what she said. It's a desperation. It's like, no, it's not a desperate situation right now. No, it's not.
It's not.
It's
and
not.
Bajillions
you have
of dollars
these papers written by these scientists that were given grants to write those papers and come up with the conclusions that they did. They were all, you know, if you're going against this type of stuff, there's no funding for you.
Right.
So if you want to eat, you want your family to be able to have a roof over their head, you're going to say what you're paid to say.
Exactly right. Exactly right. And it's, you got to just imagine the focus group, the round table they had when they got together and they were like, how are we supposed to fix this? And somebody was like, hear me out, you know, let's block out the sun. And they were like, wow, dude, that's a great idea.
I'm surprised, you know, with Operation Fishbowl and all that, somebody didn't try and propose, you know, sending a nuke to the sun.
Right.
You know,
yeah. Let's just blow it up, man.
Yeah. It'd be about as helpful. If we blow a third of the sun up with a Mark 9 nuke, you know what I mean? It's like, it's just the insanity of this. It's all so dangerous. And you have all these brainwashed fools, you know, running these programs that are being funded by the most sick and evil people that are driven by dark forces on this earth. I mean, if you think Bill Gates, after all the things we've seen that he's into, is not driven by some seriously dark forces, I don't know what to tell you, man.
Yeah.
But that's another one of them driving it. All right, here's the barometer. If you want to know if something's a good thing or a bad thing, if it's going to be terrible for the earth, is Bill Gates involved? If Bill Gates is involved, you can bet it's terrible for humanity.
That's a great litmus test.
Loading the system with warming and the environmental system starting to break down, which is where we're sitting on the edge of.
This is something that might provide some cooling and buy us some time to rapidly shift away from fossil fuels.
That's right. But there are a lot of things that we don't know. How does the climate system respond if you do that over a long period of time?
Yeah, exactly. How do we know?
Like science fiction,
it sounds like a bad idea.
It was.
18 years I've hated the train.
The 2013 film Snowpiercer depicted geoengineering gone awry, turning the planet into a dystopian snow globe and confining humanity to a high-speed train. climate scientists are divided on geoengineering. In dueling public letters, one side calls for accelerated research, while the other wants it banned, warning the possible deployment of solar geoengineering by individual nations would be frightening and inequitable.
Yeah, it is frightening.
I think inequitable is the least of our worries.
Yeah,
I
exactly.
think all of our water and food supply being poisoned, it would be a major one for me.
Yeah, I would agree with that.
The inequality of geoengineering around the world, I don't think is the issue here.
Yeah, it's probably less than number 10 on my top concerns for blocking out the sun with giant mirrors that you Ubered out into space.
Yeah.
It's insane.
Right.
This comes from flat out truth. If you're wondering what's behind all this wild weather, it's HARP. So, okay, this is the last little section of the show here, guys. We're getting into HARP now. This is, it's nice to revisit this stuff. I know some of you out there are probably super familiar with it, but taking into consideration all the things we've been talking about for the past hour and 51 minutes, this is a nice place to finish off on. It says, here we go. Yeah, check that out. Here, I'll bring that down just a little bit, because I know it's loud. Yeah. Look at that. It looks like a Wi-Fi signal, man. Dude, what the heck? I've never even seen anything like that in person. That's wild there. That's like when you drop oil into a cup of water.
Each of these trailers you see around me have transmitters in them. The transmitters feed power from the main building over there up into these dipole antennas. And basically there are 180 antennas radiating high frequency waves up in the ionosphere. It's a big ham radio, a big HF radio, the biggest in the world. Fundamentally what this is about is taking the ionosphere at 100 kilometers up and turning it into a laboratory. We can do experiments. We can create bubbles. We can heat small sections. We can create waves. We can excite plasma resonances and do a lot of experiments. We can transmit signals all around the world. We can study effects of the ionosphere. It basically makes the ionosphere a laboratory, and we can do experiments that no one else can do.
Yeah, that's your kind of basic intro there into HARP. I mean, you can see that if we mute this. This is so cool here. Looking at that, I mean, it's just, come on, bro. It looks just like a big old Wi-Fi signal in the air. Sorry, Melissa, I didn't know how long that video was, so I just responded to you in the chat myself personally. But no, I haven't seen any of it. I don't know if that was through a chat or if you did that through the comment box. But no, we haven't seen any of them. The last thing I saw from you was dumping the bunker fuels into to make the clouds, and nothing else has come through. I'm sorry about that.
Is there anything else in the comments or any questions or anything like that? I know we hadn't really touched on it too much tonight.
Connor said, I remember as a kid watching the planes go by and asking why some planes' tails disappear and others stay in the sky. Talking about when she was a little girl. And that's it. Yeah, no, apparently Melissa has given us like 7 or 8 messages, but none of them have shown up in chat. I'll tell you what, let me actually go over here real quick. Here, let's see. I haven't seen any of this. Hold on, wait a second. Justin said the government of Babylon wages war on its own citizens. Who are all you people? I had no idea you guys were here. What? I haven't seen any of this. 3rd Infantry Division Realism Gaming says college is a scam anyway. Who are all you people? Thanks for stopping by, bro. Oh, dude, I feel horrible. Yeah, here's Melissa's comments right here.
Oh man, yeah, that's what I thought. We hadn't been seeing you tonight.
Wow, this is so wild. Melissa says, "Are you on Rumble?" Yeah, we are on Rumble.
Yeah, for sure. We're streaming there right now. What's up to everybody on Rumble?
Yeah, hold on. Let me refresh this page because I had no idea. Oh well, I lost them all. Whoops. Well, there goes that. I shouldn't have refreshed. I shouldn't have done that. Whoops. I missed them all, dude. I apologize about that, guys.
Oh, no, we didn't. Screens.
Yeah, let's not anymore. Let's just pretend like that didn't happen. Yeah, I apologize.
Guys, we really do appreciate your comments. Something wacky's going on.
Yeah,
people aren't
really
getting notifications, and I'm looking on my phone, and none of the comments showed up on my phone. So
yeah, that's how I keep up mine. Is on my phone.
So sorry guys. Yeah, and I was looking through the comments as we're going through there. Yeah, Babylon really does love their citizens so much, don't they? It is the beast system, man. We're seeing it all around us, worldwide beast system, and just Jesus is the only white people. Just keep on praying.
Right.
Start really focusing in on your families too. The people that
right.
surround you the most. Make sure that they're right with God. You know what I mean? Just try and make whatever impact you can with the people around you, and then branch out from there and make sure everything's solid, man. Because we're going into some crazy times.
Exactly. Connor says she didn't see
I see
either.
5 next to that heart there. I see 5. Is there a 4, 3, 2, and 1?
Yeah, this is a whole thread, but it kind of goes over Illuminati. Sorry, I didn't mean to even look at that.
Wow.
Dark secrets behind Hollywood's eternal youth. So it's kind of a conspiracy theory.
Adrenochrome and such.
Yeah. So number 5 is where it talks about HAARP and weaponizing weather. It says HAARP isn't about research, it's about control. This powerful tool allows the elites to manipulate weather patterns, create natural disasters, and keep the population in a state of fear. They're playing God with the planet's atmosphere, using this technology to destabilize regions, drive people into poverty, and tighten their grip on power. Hey, you know what would be really fun, Melissa? Because I see your chat now saying I need to start going to Rumble to watch. If you go over there and try typing something in the live chat, that would be a fun experience or experiment to see if it works over there. Because we've never missed a message on Rumble before. You know what I mean? That way we would know whether it's your internet or if there's a conspiracy here.
I think it's a conspiracy, but that's
I think I'm in the same boat. All right, let's try this again. For some reason my screen froze up. Here we go. Oh, there's just no sound. I'm just dumb. Okay, that's why. What the heck? What? Hold on. Is this a time lapse? Whoa. What am I looking at? What is that? Surely that's a time
wild,
lapse.
Man.
Yeah, there's no way it's moving that fast. That has
fake?
to be a time
There's
lapse.
no what?
Yeah, I don't know, man. That's overwhelming there. I hope it's fake. Frequency on, frequency off. Yeah, exactly. Take notes, kids. That's what skies looked like when I was a child. Yeah. Exactly.
A lot of new people who want to know what this is and why it's happening. Can you give us an introduction?
Yeah, again, the term geoengineering, aka chemtrails, the layman's term for what we see happening in the skies, but this is weather modification on a global scale. In fact, these programs are so large and so all-encompassing that all other weather modification programs that go on a smaller regional basis are they're negated by the scope and scale of the global geoengineering programs. And these programs involve a number of aspects. You have the saturation of the atmosphere with various chemical and metal particulates. And there appear to be various purposes and objectives with this saturation.
Jeez, look at that.
In conjunction with the saturation, which ionizes the atmosphere, it makes the atmosphere more conductive, we have the HAARP facilities, High Frequency Active Auroral Research Program. These are ionosphere heaters. Many have heard of the HAARP facilities.
Right.
There's not just 1 or 2 or 3. We believe there's at least 18 around the globe, possibly with 3 more being built in Antarctica right now. And once the atmosphere is saturated with these particulates, and then you add the ionosphere heaters, the entire weather system globally is virtually being thwarted. There is no natural weather at this point, and we really don't know what sort of climate conditions we would have necessarily if these programs were brought to a halt. I mean, they desperately need to be brought to a halt because the saturation of the atmosphere is thwarting the hydrological cycle. It's totally disrupting the rain cycle.
That was
Again,
good
we have the
editing.
artificially nucleated snowstorms, which I just mentioned. You can't go from 100 degrees to snow in one day without a whole lot of help. This includes jet stream manipulation with the HAARP facilities, and we are not guessing at this. We have monitoring sources for this signal, and we can see where the signal is most intense, and that's what steers the jet stream. So then you add artificial ice nucleation, which is a chemical nucleation process. They can turn what should have been rain into snow and drop the temperatures of these storm systems by this artificial chemical nucleation. This isn't
that's
sci-fi.
wild,
this
bro.
is hard science fact. The weather disseminating agencies are trying desperately. Their task, and they're all owned at the very top, it appears by the Rothschilds and or other parts of the global elite complex. Rothschilds in particular ownership of Weather Channel, Weather Central, Weather Underground.
Right.
There's imperative that they own these agencies, otherwise there would be great discrepancy in trying to explain away
Dude,
these
this is some
events.
crispy editing. Whoever did this was a good job. Wow. No, he's spot on, man.
Yep.
Wow.
All right. Pew pew. But
Yeah, pew,
it's wild, man. Let's go
It
down
sure
to this
is.
number 6 real quick.
Sure, yeah.
There's the towers I was talking about. Yeah, climate change, the ultimate control mechanism.
Yeah, the climate change
And
narrative
it's,
is
you know,
nothing more
controlling,
than a
we talked
global
about
power.
in yeah. I mean, just insane. Well, let's go on to the next group of videos, man.
Okay, sure.
This is starting to get late.
Yeah.
Let's go on over to the let's see.
This is Haley of Colorado talking
Yeah.
about localized cloud seeding is just a part of it. You have HARP, NEXRAD, need to pulse frequencies outward, and much more. Messing with the weather could kill everyone. It's evil, and they know it. Exactly right. This is a good little comment here. It says silver iodide toxicity and bioaccumulation. That's from Grok 3. R.I.P. Grok 3. You went out like a champ, by the way, buddy. Let's see. It says, looks like
Did
HARP
he?
is getting an upgrade. Did he? Look at how massive that thing is, man. Just the tires on there about the size of a human being. That thing is huge. What the? Golly, I'm telling you, man. When you watch what they're doing.
They're just checking out ice particles, bro.
Do what now?
They're just checking out ice particles.
Of course.
They're
it's
just
for
checking
the
out
good of
ice
nature.
particles. You conspiracy theorist.
Right. No, man, we're not building like a Lex Luthor type of. This is insane, bro. What is.
Yeah.
Oh, man, it's crazy, bro. You're
sorry,
really
man.
dealing with
It's
a bunch
just,
of comic book villains here that are blocking out the sun with mirrors that they
dude.
flew out.
The
This is
Legion
crazy.
of Doom, it runs this whole world. Yeah, the Legion of Doom
Exactly.
is running the whole world, running around
Exactly.
raping little kids, bro.
Right. Exactly.
Oh, here we go.
So funny. Melissa says, I still haven't set up a profile to comment on Rumble. Are y'all on BitChute by any chance? I'm not gonna lie to you, Melissa. I'm unfamiliar with what BitChute is. I may even be mispronouncing that. So
Yeah.
the answer would be no, but I'm unfamiliar with it.
I'm an old school far right extremist. So yeah, Gab and BitChute and all that
Okay.
type of stuff. But no, we're not on there.
Yeah. What have you been hearing from the deep state puppets? There is no election fraud. There was no HARP. There was no DEW, direct energy weapons. There was no secret mass surveillance. There was no nuclear weapons. There was no Jeffrey Epstein list, etc., etc. Guess who is the #1 person helping in this campaign to pull the wool back over your eyes? He says Tucker Carlson. Ooh, that's interesting. I don't know.
Yeah.
It's a hot take. It's a hot take. That's a crazy take. I'm not gonna lie. Look, I've gone back and forth on old Tucky C. The red bracelet kind of threw me for a loop, to be honest with you.
That's the one. That's
Yeah.
the one in the CIA connections. Everything he says is fantastic.
Yeah.
Everything
what
he
says
says
is great. Yeah.
There's
Yeah.
a lot of people that say a lot of good things.
Right. It was his father who worked for a branch of the CIA, correct?
Yeah, it's what was it, America's Voice of Freedom. He was
Right. That's it.
very
Thank you.
active in East Germany back in the day. They're Swansons, they're old money, they're Star Family type stuff. Granted,
Yeah.
I like everything Tucker says.
Yeah,
For the
I do
most
too.
part, I agree with him, like on the alien stuff and what's
Right.
going on underwater. He's clearly
Israel.
been reading his Bible.
Yep.
Yeah, but it's that red bracelet, man. That
Yeah.
red bracelet. I don't know. I don't know.
Right.
I like what he says. I'm not going to knock him for what he says if it's right. But
Right. Yeah. But the actual
you never
faith
know
and
the
trusting in him.
yeah, faith and trusting in anything but God is out the window for me, man.
Exactly right. Exactly. So
If
this
it's
comes
not
from
God, I don't trust him.
Yeah, a wise decision there. CanCon says the forecasted rainfall before the cloud seeding. I'm assuming this is in reference to Texas. It says from
Yes.
0.0 inches to 10 to 18 inches in an hour. Come on, let's stop playing God, folks. Shut all this down. Private seating, HAARP, all of it. And man, I'm telling you, I couldn't get the thought of Noah's flood out of my head when I saw that time lapse of Texas being flooded over in such a quick amount of time. It's just like, wow. Can you imagine what Noah's flood looked like? You know what I mean? And just how fast that water must have rose up. It's unbelievable. And here these guys are trying to copy it. It's just insane. This is Concerned Citizen. It says HAARP is designed to inject energy into the atmosphere in an attempt to control it. Sounds crazy, but we've been experimenting for 30 years. HAARP plus daily spray plus frequency waves equals climate engineering. This lady's talking
couple
about
questions
DARPA
here. A couple questions here about HAARP, the High Frequency Active Auroral Research Program. This is located up in Alaska. It's currently funded by the Air Force Research Lab. It was formerly funded by the Office of Naval Research. One of the prime customers is DARPA, which is currently running experiments at the facilities. To start with you, Dr. Prabhakar, I understand that a lot of folks here on the committee probably don't understand what HAARP does. I think most Alaskans don't really know what HAARP does or why the agency is involved in it. So a very brief explanation.
One of our programs has been using the HAARP facility for the research that it's pursuing. And my understanding is that we did get value out of that interaction.
Dr. Walker, your agency is currently running the facility.
The Air Force has gotten great value out of HAARP in the past. We took over from the Navy and managed it and actually did a number of experiment campaigns up there. Moving on to other ways of managing the ionosphere, which the HAARP was really designed to do, was to inject energy into the ionosphere to be able to actually control it.
Wow.
With DARPA completing their project, that's our last government customer that we have in the site.
It basically makes the ionosphere a laboratory, and we can do experiments that no one else can do. It's a laboratory without walls.
That's all I needed to hear. That's wow, what a great video to end on right there, man. That is actually crazy right there, bro.
Let's go to that Jimmy Dore video because I want to play this, man. You know, can we do full screen real quick, and then guys, we're gonna get out of here after this video, and I'm sure we'll talk about some upcoming things at the end. So stick around for that. I'm sure everybody's thrilled. This is a Christian channel, so we usually tie things into the spiritual realm, and we talked about it some tonight. But this is the important question: why would these people be doing this? Because the elites have to breathe this stuff in too, right?
Right.
All the people behind this have to live on Earth too. Well, why would they do stuff like this? And that's the question that really throws people. And if you don't have the spiritual insight as to what is really driving this type of thing, it seems like conspiracy theory, because nobody would do that to themselves and the people they know.
Exactly.
Right? And this affects everybody. So, with that in mind, let's watch this clip from the Jimmy Dore show.
So much aluminum, it's changing soil pH values. And again, bioavailable aluminum does not exist naturally in the environment. It's always bonded to other elements unless it's been mined, refined, and dispersed. It's exactly what Dr. David Keith was initially pushing before he realized that wasn't going to fly. And it's listed in climate engineering patents. Again, this is absolutely one of the elements that's being dispersed, and we're breathing it in. Every person we've tested, Jimmy, hair, blood, urine is packed with aluminum now.
And so, why are they doing it? What is it? The interest, like what? So
Jimmy, you know how I keep bringing up over and over how everyone can't remember anything for more than a month or a week now?
Yeah.
I wonder if it has anything to do with the aluminum in the rain.
Yeah, but people, Bill Gates has to breathe the same air that I have to breathe, right? So, Jeff Bezos has to breathe the same air. The Klaus Schwab has to breathe the same air. So wouldn't those people who are responsible for doing this and have been responsible for doing it for 80 years, wouldn't they be afraid of this? What do you say to this, Dane?
First, let me back up to the stated purpose of these operations. The covert label, solar radiation management,
light scattering particles in the atmosphere slow down some of the sun's incoming thermal energy with no consideration of the consequences. We know it's being used as a covert weapon of war. Yes, crown jewel weapon of the military-industrial complex. And we know the entire system has been designed, the official air quality system, not to show this mountain of contamination. All official air quality testing is PM10, only occasionally PM2.5. These particles are inconceivably smaller. Again, you can fit 100,000 nanoparticles across the width of a single human hair. So with the current air testing system, Jimmy and Kurt, it would be like trying to catch a minnow in a tuna net. It doesn't show up at all.
Right.
And in regard to the consequences for the controllers, those who print the money, that's ultimately who's behind all of this. Elected officials are simply puppets in the play.
Agreed.
What else have they done to themselves?
Yep.
Already. Are we dealing with sanity? Answer is no. So we have 2,400 nuclear bombs detonated all over the world. That contaminated everything. You guys might remember these terms, Project Starfish Prime and Project Fishbowl. That's the detonation of hydrogen bombs in the magnetosphere that they thought could collapse the entire atmosphere. Did that stop them? No. So again, we know from psychoanalysis, and this is right from the manual, there's a common thread with those in power, and it's this. It's like a headless, heartless, soulless cancer. But the exact quote from the manual is that they have a near total lack of comprehension as to the consequences of their actions, even to themselves.
You can see it. You can see it. I mean, look, all the other stuff we cover every day on the show is so like disconnected from any form of human empathy or understanding. Like they can't get their head around the evil they're doing right now.
Hey, come see us on tour. We're going to be in.
Wow. Very, very well said.
Yeah,
man.
that's they can't get their head around it. So why are they doing it then? Why are they doing it then? They can't get their head around it. They're doing it for a reason. It's they're being spiritually driven to do all these things. I mean, it's I understand some people watch this that aren't believers, but I mean, is there any reason that all these systems are coming together and it's all so bad for humanity? Even if you don't believe in God, you got to at least say, hey man, I'm a human being and I don't want this to happen to anybody, right?
Right. You would
think
some form of morality.
Like, so I mean, to me, it's a sign that there is a dark spiritual force that's pushing this. If the people in charge don't even know why they're doing it, right?
Right.
I mean, to me, that's the only answer. I mean, you have to be driven by some compulsion to do these terrible things to your fellow man. You got to be driven by some evil compulsion to want to blot out the sun.
Right.
I mean, it's just foolishness on just a major level, regardless of what you believe in. I mean, just if you want what's best for your fellow man, I mean, it's insanity.
Right.
Insanity. To be putting these heavy metals in the sky and to be trying to block out the sun, it's absolute insanity.
Yeah. It's delusional. It's beyond insanity, actually, believe it or not. Wow. I'll tell you what, man. I think you've put together a really, really great show tonight. I think we covered just about anything you could think of on the matter. We talked about the cloud seeding, the Texas flooding. We talked about HAARP. We talked about flying mirrors up into outer space. Man, we covered a lot of good stuff tonight. I don't really know what else you're supposed to talk about when it comes to this subject. So, man, thank you so much for doing that. Thanks for putting in the show together.
Before we get out of here, yeah, for sure, man. Before we get out of here, is there anything in the chat?
There is not. The last thing Melissa said was that she's going to set up her Rumble account, is what she said. She just says she hasn't set it up yet. So.
Well, I appreciate everybody tuning in on Rumble. Appreciate everybody here on YouTube. And, you know, we are missing our old X account since we got nuked for talking about God. I don't know how that happened.
Right.
But, yeah, guys, we really do appreciate you coming out. Be on the lookout for the Sodom and Gomorrah video. We are working on it. We have basically everything put together. We just have to record it. So be praying for us. We'll be praying for you guys. We just really do appreciate coming here and hanging out with you guys, whether it's big crowd, small crowd, just coming here and talking truth with you guys and being around people that believe in God and believe in the truth and believe in doing what's best for, you know, love your neighbor as yourself, right? It's not some like humanistic Luciferian thing. It's the words of Jesus. Love your neighbor as yourself. You can't do things like this if you love your neighbor like yourself, because you wouldn't want to do this to yourself, not without something terrible driving it.
Exactly.
So, guys, be in prayer for this world, man. It's crazy times, and it feels like we say this, almost every week, but it just it hasn't changed. It just keeps on amping up, and for the people in Texas, man. Pray for the people in Texas.
Yes, absolutely. We certainly can.
Right,
Melissa
guys.
says,
we appreciate y'all coming out. We will see you guys. Sorry, buddy. I think I'm on a little delay.
Yeah, it's okay. She says that she's gonna try to catch us next time. So that's really cool, man. We're looking forward to that. We hope to see you here next time. So we are live every single Sunday, and we'll be out here every single Sunday at 8 p.m. Eastern is when we're gonna be here. So you are always more than welcome to come by. A private organization actually went to a data broker and paid for the data of everyone's cell phone that went to Epstein Island. Really? A private organization went to a data broker and paid for the data of everyone's cell phone that went to Epstein. I wonder what they're going to do with that information.
I mean, it seems like you triangulate it.
Right. Leak that stuff out, man. Hopefully something good comes from that, man. We'll see what happens. It's been such a negative experience so far that I can't lie. It's just a lot of vinegar. You know what I mean? It's just such a sour taste in my mouth in that subject. So any grain of hope would be nice right now. You know what I mean? Yeah. Any grain of hope. But we can always catch up with that next week when we're back over here. And, I think, honestly, I'm going to start maybe doing a little bit of research on Rumble, looking for some of these smaller channels over there that do something similar to us, so that whenever we finish our shows, we can rate out and continue the viewership on to other places. So I don't think you can do it on YouTube, but
you guys on Rumble, if you're registered over there, put some channels in the chat that would be worth going in and rating.
Right, because I'm looking at a few of them right here. There's some people covering them Epstein files, and people doing some things, but I haven't spent enough time to study them out to see if I like them or trust them, or we try to do Christian stuff over here the best we can, but lots of cool things coming, man. I'm really excited about this. If you guys have noticed, I'm in a different spot today than what I normally am when I stream, and we've moving some stuff around in our baby room, so we're in the process of getting out of this room, letting my daughter actually have her whole room to herself, and then getting us moved over into a studio. It's taken a lot of time, and it won't be any time like next week or whatever, but we're doing it. We're in the process of getting towards our studio.
It'd be nice to do shows side by side, so we don't have to deal with this internet, man.
Yeah, exactly. It would be great. Really, really good. So lots of good things coming in the future, guys, and we appreciate every one of you for being here with us. Yeah, it's on such a delay right now. So we'll go ahead and head on out of here, guys. Y'all have a great rest of your evening.
Thanks, guys, for coming out.
See you later.